Good afternoon, Patriots. I hope everybody is having an awesome day. I know there's lots of things going on out there, indictments dropping everywhere. Uh, I have a feeling that things are going to be picking up speed. I told you. That's why I named that show yesterday, Let the Flood Begin, because it is exactly what is happening. The flood has begun, and it's just going to get heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. So, folks, the more information that you have available to you, the more information that you have to give to your friends, your family, and those are your neighbors. Make some new friends, because as you turn people on to the podcast and they start watching these and they begin to understand all of these different things that are going on, then there is a chance, just a slight chance, that you will help in their awakening. And that's what's important, because we have to remember that our objective is not to give them an "I told you so." Our objective is to get them, buddy, chill out, dude. Okay? Yeah, I know. It's okay. Somebody's in his bed and he's not happy about it. But there's a slight chance that you'll be part of their awakening and giving them the opportunity to really absorb more. Again, our objective is not to give the "I told you so." It is, come in, let's make a pot of coffee. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about what's going on. And, maybe, just maybe, we can set people on the right path in order to have a great beginning. Okay. So there's a couple of new things going on today. You're going to see a couple of different banners roll by. We are testing out a new platform called Q Streaming. That is spelled CUESTREAMING. Okay, we're testing that out today. So we're streaming to 3 different platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Q Streaming. And we're going to see how it goes. This is a project for Dave. The idea is to give Dave a platform to come back to, and to really be able to put the truth out there. And we'll be able to share content back and forth and everything else. So he is doing well. He did get moved into a place. So he may pop in for a couple of minutes today. I'm not positive on that yet. But he's getting settled in. He's getting his little studio set up there in his bedding area. So keep our fingers crossed that he'll be back with us on a regular basis real soon, folks. That's a super important thing for many of us, because Dave has a different perspective on a lot of different things. We don't all have to see eye to eye on every truther that's out there, or every podcaster that's out there, or anything else. But it is important to listen, to give them the opportunity to get their points of view out there. And quite possibly, a very big possibility that we will be learning and discovering new things that we did not see before. And that's an important thing for me. And I know it's an important thing for a lot of you. As we listen to all these truthers and the information that they're putting out and the receipts that they lay out in front of us, those are the things that lead us in the right path. My objective here with Hawk's Mustard Seeds, and it's been affectionately named Mustard Seeds Media by a few of our viewers. It's the idea that with the faith of a mustard seed, we can say to that mountain, move, and that mountain would move. And all it takes is that little bit of faith. And the thing is our faith is exponentially grown over these last 5-6 years that we've been doing these podcasts. And our faith grows more as we learn that more and more things are coming to the point of complete exposure. And that's what we appreciate. So let me get the first video going. We're going to start off with the Table of Titans from last night with Space Shot. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that.
Let's go! You're now tuned in to the Patriot News. Patriots United, that's how Patriots do. Doing deep dives and discovering the truth. Follow along and you'll discover it too. Yeah. To doing research and covering Q. We turn the deep state into bumbling fools. Now they don't know what to do. We got them on the world rep. Popcorn, the world's best movie has begun. Let's go. We made it through the storm, now get ready for some fun. Now comes the game for the traders, every single one. From Evergreen to Renegade, they're all gonna fall. This ain't a game of Pokemon, but we're gonna catch them all. Taking back power from the clutch of the cabal. They won't answer questions while they're rushing down the hall. You got love for us and we've got love for y'all. That's the meaning of where we go, where we go on. Patriot News, get with the program. Shout out to the team, yeah, the whole fan. Country, Hulkinator, all Dr. D. Wild, Space Shot, Red Pill, and Bree. Patriot News, get with the program. Shout out to the team, yeah, the whole fan. Country, Hulkinator, all Dr. D. Wild, Space Shot, Red Pill, and Bree. Let's go, let's get it. Yeah, you know what's going on at the table of Titan. Yeah, you know they're going strong. Yeah. We're taking back control. The cabal got it wrong. We got it where we fit in, right where we belong.
Work on our healthcare system.
He's running the country. That's cool.
Yeah, have you seen some of the videos circling of him falling and stumbling?
I have seen those. Yeah.
Do you feel like he's maybe too old? Side. Pennsylvania.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Okay.
On election day in 2020, he came back here, went inside, and wrote a message on one of the walls that simply said, "From this house to the White House." He's up for re-election again in 2024. So we decided to come here to Scranton, his hometown, walk the streets, and ask the people here what they really think about their president. What do you feel about our current president?
He's okay.
He needs to get the hell out of the White House. He's ruined this country. This country's in a hole.
He's pretty much the kind of guy who should be a mayor of Scranton instead of.
Hey, just so you guys know, Dave's pulling a Dave on us. Okay, I'm actually on stream or on Signal with him right now on a phone call, and he muted his screen because he's checking out the Q streaming side to make sure that that's working. So he muted it, not knowing that it was actually muting us. So he apologized, but it's Dave pulling a Dave on us. All right, let's get that right. All right.
President of the United States.
What would you like to see him do moving forward?
I don't know. I would like to see him try again with student debt. I would like to see him work on our healthcare system.
He's running the country. That's cool.
Yeah, have you seen some of the videos circling of him falling and stumbling?
I have seen those. Yeah.
Do you feel like he's maybe too old to be president?
I think all the politicians are too old. We need young people in there.
I want to ask you, he has said, "You're not black if you don't vote for me."
And I thought to myself, you about to find out.
Does it worry you thinking that there could be a whole nother 4 years with Biden as president?
I feel if he'd be a president again, I don't know where America gonna be.
I'm not saying like we don't like him, that we appreciate for this thing that he did, but like he needs to do a better job. Like you could do a good job and a better job. Like he needs to do a better job. Like what Trump did was better than what he's doing right now.
Do you feel that he represents the people of his hometown of Scranton?
Hell, no. He's not even from here. He only been here, what, for 2 years and since he was a little kid? No, get mad at him.
You feel like our country was better when Trump was in office?
Yes, I do. Okay, so I'm a transgender person, so I personally believe that Trump has a lot out for people in the LGBTQ plus community. However, he has done a lot of good for socioeconomical growth, and I can't blame him for being that way because he is a businessman. He knows what America needs at heart, which is economical growth.
Would you vote for him again?
Biden? No. I'd vote for Trump. I'm a veteran, and Trump's a big veteran proponent, so absolutely.
I'm probably more of like a third-party ticket, looking for alternatives to the two-party system.
So I think it's safe to say you would not vote for him in 2020.
Hell, I'm voting for Trump.
If it was between Trump and Biden, who's your pick?
No comment, but not Biden. So.
No comment, but not Biden. Welcome in, everybody. It is Thursday. It is Table of Titans, and we got chaos agents to cover. We just had an election, big upsets we want to talk about, and it didn't go as well as we thought it would go for the Republicans. But there are some positive notes about things we got to pay attention to. The election shenanigans are back at it again. We've got subpoenas going out for the Biden administrations. We still got the Israeli conflict still going on. There's so much. And censorship, AI, stop your car, all that stuff is all coming together in one big giant plan. It's going to get interesting. But before we get too much farther, this chaos is happening really fast. It's accelerating over last week. Tron, what is going on, sir?
What's going on, guys? What an amazing week. We still have one day left, Friday. But man, this week has been on fire, dude. Like, boss, at the rally, guys, during the GOP debate, which no one cares about, and we had a little surrogate boss there, Vivek, which we're not voting for. There's only one boss, and that's DJT. He was at least dropping some red pills, at least telling people how things are. So it was a strange but very offensive week for our side. And like Hulk said, man, I mean, we have subpoenas getting handed out. We have other things getting handed out in D.C. as well. Brothels being found, and this story is not done, guys. So it is heating up, and less than a year to go, man. Let's rock and roll, baby. Hit that thumbs up, and love you guys. Let's rock.
Get the popcorn, Mr. Space Shot. What's going on, sir?
Got to get all the unmutes going there. How's it going out there, my fellow world patriots? Yeah, as Hulk said, it is a absolutely crazy banana time we're living in here. And I just put a post out on my Telegram, guys, just to caution everybody. And maybe Ardoc can follow up because I know he'll be next after this. Maybe he can touch on this. But there's a lot of infighting in our own side, and the pro-Palestinian, the Israeli, Jewish, Zionism, Judaism. A lot of people are, go read a book and, this, that, and the other, and jumping down each other's throats. And I feel like we all need to be on the same side here, guys. We need to be more into lockstep motion like the Democrats are. Otherwise, we're going to get our butts handed to us. So let's start getting in line, guys, and let's start working with each other. Remember, kill them with kindness, our own side as well. And I just also put a link in the chat, guys, for it's a Dustin Stockton X link. It's a benefit from Matt Couch. He's grabbing, I think he actually maybe got it today, but he's still got to pay off that leg that he had amputated, excuse me. So they're doing a benefit roast, which we might, I'm definitely going. I'm going to definitely rib him a little bit, but so I'll be accepting all jokes at SpaceShot76 at Proton Mail. So we're going to let him have it on that day there. What did I say? It was the 11th at 8 p.m., guys. So the link is in there. And thank you to all the mods out there and for all of you wonderful world patriots for tuning in. I know we got a lot of stuff to handle here tonight. So, and I'm also going to drop the give, send, go. If you guys have a dollar, a couple dollars, very expensive bills, anything with the hospital, but especially getting a new leg, never cheap, of course, guys. Not that I would ever want to know, but tough situations. But thank you guys all for tuning in, and I guess back to you for now, Mr. Hilkinator.
Yep. Prayers out to Matt. He's good people. Hope everything turns out good for him. And thank you for all the gold pill donations going off over there in the pilled side. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Mr. Ardoc, thank you for getting up and awake. He's probably half awake, so we're going to get a good half hour to kind of get up and going before we get that brain on that international shit.
Thanks for waking me up, man. No, just kidding. I took another little nappy nap before the show. And that way I'll be awake long after the show ends, which is usually when I go to sleep, because Modern Warfare Zombies is out. And guys, are we playing after the show?
Well, let's focus on the show first.
Okay.
Depends on how much you talk.
Let's focus on what's first. Let's focus on what's really important, Ardoc. So yes, I will.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking around, guys. This is something that all four of us, I think, have been waiting for a long time. Unfortunately, I think we're going to be really disappointed from what I've seen. But look, in addition to what's going on, Israeli, you're not allowed to say ceasefire, but it's a what do they call it? A militaristic pause. Don't bomb the shit out of civilian pause. Something that you're not allowed to say anything to do with war or killing. It's a pause. Okay, but you can't say ceasefire. But yeah, the Biden administration is really pressing hard, and BB looks like they're going to agree to a ceasefire. And guess who they've been negotiating with? It's not Iran. It's Qatar. It's never been Iran, but they're going to tell you it's Iran. But you know what? Wait. This is my intro. This is my intro. Okay. So in addition to that, in the U.S., something that we're probably not going to talk about tonight, but you can look at your own. They're encouraging their citizens to go buy weapons. And there's been a run on assault-style weapons and handguns in Israel. They're encouraging people to go get licenses and go get training so they can defend themselves against terrorism and people breaking through their borders, stuff like that. But in Illinois, in a case involving the city of Naperville, which I used to live near, a three-judge appeals court overturned a injunction against a ban against assault style weapons. That word again, assault weapons, doesn't exist. That word doesn't exist. That type of gun doesn't exist.
Oh, that's what AR-15 stands for. AR, it's assault rifle, right?
No, Armalite. It's Armalite. Anyway, that's just insanity. More insanity out of our legal system, more insanity out of our political system, and more insanity in our religious world. So, yeah, let's get on with it because I know you got a lot to cover.
One thing I do want to say, and it was being announced all through today, that the the talks for a ceasefire has failed for the 3 or 5 days that they wanted to, and the United States government has announced that the Israeli will be allowing a 4-hour window and giving warning 3 hours before for certain areas of Palestine to move to the south, which you told us last week. They've been doing that for months. But let's get into normal stuff before. We got some domestic stuff to talk about, and we're going to go just with this right out of the park. Everybody pay attention to, because this is where GOP is at right now.
Swami, let me turn to you. Please make your case. Why should you be the nominee and not the former president?
I think there's something deeper going on in the Republican Party here, and I am upset about what happened last night. We've become a party of losers at the end of the day. It was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. I mean, since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party. You think the Democrats, and we've got Kristen Welker here, do you think the Democrats would actually hire Greg Gutfeld to host a Democratic debate? They wouldn't do it. And so the fact of the matter is, I mean, Kristen, I'm going to use this time because this is actually about you in the media and the corrupt media establishment. Ask you, the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years, was that real, or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation? Answer the question. Go. Mr. Roberts, this is how we get our country back. We need accountability because this media rigged the 2016 election. They rigged the 2020 election with the Hunter Biden laptop story.
Mr. Ramaswamy,
and they're going to rig this election.
Your time is up.
Accountability.
Let me turn to Governor Christie. Why you, Swami?
So yeah, talking points are out, and remember, Shaney knew, somebody like this to be listening to and following. You got to be careful with these guys because we know his history and where he's coming from, but he is hitting the right talking points being out in front of public. So we got to be careful because he did some hit and miss stuff through the entire thing. But that was one that got a lot of play, I think. And I don't know if you guys saw the rest of that, but I think he made a lot of good points because, I mean, Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, and Tucker Carlson should be in charge of this. That whole Blaze Media thing they did with Tucker Carlson, if you guys didn't watch that, that was absolutely excellent. Go back and watch it. You guys make some comments here. What you think?
What do you think, Hulk? Could this guy be a chaos agent? Good name of the show there, guys. But yeah, be careful. And I do like, on one hand, we like what he's saying, right? We do like that he's exposing stuff, but then we have the questions about the Soros connections and, well, I needed the money for, college and whatever. I was a poor kid. And then, well, we find out that his returns say he was making $1 million for the previous 3 years from that. So, is he good? Is he bad? Whatever. Let that just be a cautionary tale. Somebody messaged me earlier about this, and I said he very much reminds me of Barack Obama 2.0, but actually he's obviously going a little harder on the mainstream, right?
Yep, I agree. You guys got any comments, Tron? Or
wait,
real quick, we're not. Yeah, go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
No. I'm waiting. You go.
No, we're not voting for Vivek. I mean, that's not. And again, like our job is to identify those that support the boss and who has been most vocal about 2020 being stolen and 2016 being stolen. That is DJT. So the fact that there are some quote unquote Republicans, who knows who they are right now, but anyone that comes out in support of the 2020 election being stolen and also the 2016 election, Russia hoax bullshit, they're on our side because of their voices and their words. Forget about the Soros connection. Forget about this and that. I mean, we have boss with Kushner. Okay, the boss's daughter is married to. I don't want to go down that route, but again, it's never ever perfect. So we have to take things as they come. And like I said, he made great points. He said what the boss would have said if he was there. If that kind of makes sense. And I'm not saying he's an extension of the boss, but again, it's good to have a little help. It's all right.
Okay, this is where I'm going to depart. That's why I wanted to listen to both you guys talk about this thing. We don't have to take things as they come. We got to stop letting people tell us to take things as they come. Kristen Welker and This jackass should not be moderating any kind of debates for the Republican Party. The uniparty is real. Democrats and Republicans, there is no difference in the establishment, none whatsoever. They are the same party, financed by the same World Jewish Congress, financed by the same Atlantic Council, financed by the same military-industrial complex. Vivek Ramaswamy, at the end of the day, is a chaos agent. He's hired to stir up those among us who are patriots, who are sick and tired of our government being in our party and the people that we're getting isolated on purpose into a position where we can be called crazies, where we can be called unstable, where we can be called radicals. That's what Vivek is supposed to represent on the stage there and get applause on purpose, because Vivek is a chaos agent, just as Nikki is nothing more than an MIC tool. Her parents are Sikh. Okay, she's a daughter of two Sikh parents, and she is not a wonder Christian patriot maverick is our hero type of Republican. She is a agent for the money guys that pay her the most money out of the World Jewish Congress and out of the Atlantic Council. That's who she is. And so at the end of the day, this is designed to make nothing more than a mockery of the Republican debate system. And believe it or not, you said something at the beginning of the show, Hulk, about, Space Shot. Space Shot said that there was maybe our party needs to get together or whatever. We don't have a party anymore. The establishment doesn't want Trump. They kicked him to the curb. Okay. Will Trump win the Republican nomination? 100%. But the Republican establishment doesn't want him. The Democrat Party doesn't have unity either on this issue. They don't want Biden. Surprise. They want anybody but Biden. Now, even though they might eventually get behind him and the fraud machine that's behind there might get behind him, they don't want him either. So this is the weirdest election that we may never ever have, because if he gets his way and he gets a war going, we won't have elections. We'll be just like another guy.
Yeah, we'll get there. Let's go to the next story here real quick. And just to point out that Vivek did call Zelensky a Nazi. So just
he called him a Nazi clown in, did he say khakis or some sort of cargo pants?
Yes.
Yeah. And he called her a Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels or something.
Yeah, she came back and said, no, those are 7-inch heels. So let's talk about Kentucky for a second, because good old Mitch McConnell stayed over there. We won a couple of Republican seats. We won the Secretary of State's and the Attorney General's office. But again, a whole bunch of people decided to show up and vote for the Democrat over there. So he won again. So he's on his reelection side itself, but a couple 100,000 just showed up to vote for him, but didn't show up for the other guy. So I'm just trying to figure out where a lot of those numbers went to. And there's some effery going around that they're talking about. So I just wanted to throw this out there that it's mostly red. But Ronna McDonald and Mitch McConnell didn't help out over there in Kentucky whatsoever. And that was one of the states that we're looking at. Go ahead.
This is important. Okay. Typically and historically, down ballot races have fewer votes than up ballot races. Okay, so governors should have more votes than down ballot, and what we see at the top is a weird kind of mixture. And typically, when they pull straight across the deal, the people that vote for attorney general and stuff like that, they would also be pulling straight lever through all the way for the Republican governor as well. So the fact is that, and everybody is now looking at this, and who is it, Marjorie Taylor Greene or somebody got up there and said, yeah, it's still the same fraud. Nothing's been fixed. It's still the same.
Yeah, it's still there. So that was that on that side. I do follow this guy, Jonathan, that goes back, and he's kind of a computer nerd, looks at IPs. He's been around since 2020, following all this stuff. He's been following the way that they do the election interference, and he's noticing that Kentucky State was using some servers from Microsoft to transfer information over there. So he follows a lot of these local states and gets in there, just monitors the traffic and records everything. And he sees what they're exactly doing. And they've blocked him from website monitoring and a whole bunch of this stuff, but this guy's still in there doing it. So again, CIS is out there running monitoring that is not supposed to be networked. So I don't know if this guy's information is correct, but he is seeing some weird stuff happening that people need to go look at. So that's what he was saying. In Kentucky, and of course, we had Kentucky had two places where the polling stations had gas leaks. So just was pointing that out there, that those are the issues that they're running to over there. And if nobody was paying attention to, also Pennsylvania had an issue with theirs. They said it was a human error in some sort of programming where it's flipping votes for a whole bunch of people. And this is that old school of the ES&S system out of Dominion, because remember, they all got correlated together. Somebody went through and actually talked about what was happening here and what was affected. Do you want to read a little bit of this, Space Shot? We get through the election stuff here pretty quickly.
Sure. Was this and yeah, this was the one. Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. And so before I just read this really quickly, guys, keep in mind, people are saying, oh, it's the same old, but we are seeing where people are getting caught on some of these things. And some of these elections are actually having redone and reflipped or whatever. So hopefully we'll have a little bit better. But anyways, Ultra MJ Truth on X here. Pennsylvania voting machines found to be flipping votes. Here's the rundown. Where? Northampton County, Pennsylvania. What race was affected? Retention questions for Superior Court Judge Jack Pennell, a Democrat, and Victor P. Stabile, Republican. What happened? Voters noticed their votes were being flipped on the receipt paper after voting. Poll workers across the county then began pulling their machines offline and relied on provisional ballots. It was determined that if a voter cast a yes vote for one of the incumbents but a no for the other, the votes came out flipped. Officials only made the public aware of this issue thanks to a 2019 lawsuit that just settled in August of 23. The lawsuit, yeah, that's crazy, huh? The lawsuit says county officials must notify the public of any voting machine problems. Solution: Northampton County Judge Abe Cassis ruled Tuesday morning that the county could continue to use the machines. In cases where the error would pop up for retention question, the county would flip the results during the post-election canvasses. You want to say something, Hardock?
No, I'm laughing.
Oh, okay. Glenn Geisinger, chair of the Northampton County Republican.
Goes on for a while.
Okay, so it was flipping yes to no, but it was straight across, right? Yes was no, no was yes.
They said that they corrected the issue and they went back to normal operation after they went in there and fixed it with their Dominion magic and fixed the fractional voting issues they're running into.
Don't worry, we had Sissa go look at it.
The other one was the Glenn Youngkin race out of West Virginia, if anybody's paying attention there, because that was a little bit of a Republican hold on Congress. They had the Senate, and of course, we had Glenn Youngkin as the governor, because that was the whole trans issue about the kids having issues in the bathrooms or whatnot. So he won on there, but it seemed that they drove home the whole thing about abortion and whatnot, and basically the Democrats flipped Congress over there. So now it's a Democratic Congress in West Virginia. He held on to the governor's seat, or he's still going to be governor, but they also held on to the Senate. So again, we lost kind of big over there on that side. But again, it's been freaky magic happening all over the place itself. And if anybody's paying attention here, Ohio election issues update, baby genocide and drugged up Americans. So they thumbed up for basically abortion on states' rights, because again, it got kicked back from the Supreme Court. Well, the states started making their own rules. They got enough in there, so they're going to get high and have abortions. That's what's happening in Ohio, if anybody's paying attention. So those are kind of the big pieces itself. The big part I wanted to go back through in there is another thing that's coming out of Jim Jordan and whatnot there. And I kind of went back in the digs over here to talk about what they're doing with the Department of Homeland Security, CISA, and the censorship program that they were running over there. And I had no idea that these guys were running this type of operation, because this all came out in court documents or whatever, but they were running this type of operation of basically adjusting the votes and whatnot. So again, This is the disinformation campaign that they're running. This is involving government. This is also CISA, individual states, and all that. So this is kind of how they wired it all together. And this is coming out of this. And this is also what Jim Jordan was saying over here on this side. I think this is it. I had to get to it. There was a Georgia Jim Jordan one over here on this side. Sorry, clicked the wrong button over here. Where was I at? That side. Before I get to the Jim Jordan stuff, the one thing I did want to point out over here, because Georgia's got some issues, and I don't know if you guys heard about the.
There he goes.
Are you kidding me?
He just went.
Wow.
All right.
Tron. Wait, hold on. I gotta say, people, I'm not cracking on Tron. Just FYI, in case there's any comments in the chat, because I came out kind of hard again, and I'm like, but that phrase you said there got me, and I'm like, no, we don't have to take it anymore. We don't have to sit back and accept what the Rona McDonald gives to us. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we will not take anything from Ronna McDonald or Ronna McDaniel. That's right.
That's right, Ronald. Wait, I want McDonald. Damn it.
They don't have that over there. It hasn't been invented yet, Doc.
Yes.
Hey, do they know Michael Jackson died already?
They know Michael Jackson.
They're way behind. Prince is next.
Just beat it.
Oh my goodness! All right, so fill some commentary time there, Ardoc. Or Tron.
Well, New York guys, like Hulk was talking about all these flips and stuff, and New York had a big deal. 20 years, guys. Suffolk County over there in New York, Long Island area turned red. So 20 years, dude, and now we got some new guy in there. So there is hope everywhere, and we are seeing changes, even though they keep cheating, lying, and stealing. There are many ways of doing it, but we are seeing progress. But it has to happen quickly, man. We got a year.
That's where my other part of my family lives, in Suffolk County on Long Island. So that's Italian.
Big explosion yesterday in Texas. Yes, they are. Huh?
Yeah, there was Port Neches, the butadiene plant that is owned by IPC Group, I believe it's called, and the normal stuff is going on in the news about it. But that follows on another major explosion at the ExxonMobil facility in July. Is there anything that's wrong with it? No, not necessarily, except that this was just huge. It was just a big ass explosion, similar in size to the old Texas City explosion back in, was it right before World War II or during World War II? I can't remember. But that's kind of like legend in that part of Texas. But Port Neches, yeah. My family didn't know about it, and they live in Texas, so it's way down south near.
Well, they're doing really good on the news there. I think Hulk is back with us. Hulk, did you want me to try to share and do the links or whatever, or you think you're good?
Dude, do you want 85 links?
No, just keep going. Just keep.
It only happens with Ardoc because he's so far away. I'm just realizing that because it doesn't happen.
No. Did you redo your Zoom?
So, yeah, I did a while ago. Anyways, let's keep going because we talked about election stuff over here. Flipping votes coming out from there. What else did we want to go ahead? Flipping votes. We did that. We did that over here on this side. This is part of the censorship program. This is what Jim Jordan's talking about that puts together the Global Engagement Center. The Election Integrity Project, and I forgot what the CSI stands for, but they're the ones that are all basically coalescing together to censor all you guys. And they were still using that system all the way up until this past election. That system was up and running. But the one thing I did want to point out here, where was I at? Oh, we had some Secretary of State's office step down due to elections. We have one in Hawaii that just stepped down. I wanted to point that out because, again, I rolled by this Mark Elias tweet over here on this side in Spacia. Would you read that for me right there at the top?
I would be more than pleasured to read that one. Mark Elias is saying, now, what are they saying above that to response? He's saying, yes, you should be worried.
Well, this is just going over all the other people that they're going after.
So Mark Elias with the dog picture, remember the dog comms guys, quoting, a wave of departures by election officials in key states risks adding new stress to the nation's election system ahead of next year's presidential contest. Voting rights groups and several states' election chiefs warn. And he's saying, yes, you should be worried. I am. I don't know, anything else in the bottom there? Stop telling children they can be born in their own body. You're crazy.
No,
How about
yeah.
that?
That was just interesting to hear that come out of his mouth, because we're kind of talking about the elections issues we're having, and then you hear the Democratic side doesn't seem to be wanting to go all that well with them. And then I ran by this thing about the Georgia 2020 counterfeit ballot case. This one is, remember, this was Curling versus Roethlisberger. They challenged the election results. We want to see the ballots. Roethlisberger, Secretary of State, said no. They went up to the Supreme Court or Appellate Court, whatever's above for it, and then they said, "Yeah, you're going to have to show them." So come back down to the back to the state and see if they can give you the info that you need. Well, here is that happening today.
So I think this would understandably, I think, raise some alarms that you're asking to have a copy of every single ballot in Fulton County, and you're going to be able to know everyone who lived in Fulton County exactly how they voted.
That's not entirely correct.
Okay. Correct me.
So we're looking for our experts to review. The experts do not care who voted. That's not their shtick. They're looking to see what the result actually was. You see, they have a major discrepancy. The reason why they don't want to turn it over is because I submit, Judge, that a lot of the stuff that we've asked for, they simply don't have, and they don't want to tell you at all, because for obvious reasons, it impacts the certification of the election itself. This court has authority as a superior court under 21-2-500 to unseal any records. And there is a pending case in this jurisdiction, I believe, where there's a motion to unseal that has been filed.
It's in this case.
It's in this case. Yeah, this case. But I thought there was another pending case as well.
Well, it is, but
okay.
When you say other pending case, what do you mean?
There's a civil case.
The Raffensperger one that's referenced in your response?
Not Curling. That's a federal case. It's a local case, but my colleague is
Favorito et al. Versus Wynn et al., Your Honor.
And do you know which docket that's in?
I believe Judge McBurney had it or has it.
It's still open?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It just came back from the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals.
All right.
So we paying attention, folks, because the other bit of news just happened here. Would you go to read that up there at the top? Right there, Mr. Space Shot.
Sure. Rasmussen reports update. Fulton County GA's high-priced criminal defense lawyers see writing on the wall and hit the silk. These 150,000 still secret 2020 unfolded mail ballots with the perfect ovals protected by court order for 3 years may have gone missing, and the county's lawyers have just quit. The suit sought an outside review of the nearly 150,000 absentee ballots cast in the county, arguing that the people who participated in a hand recount of the election claimed to have seen absentee or mail-in ballots that suspiciously weren't creased and didn't look like they were marked by hand. Hulk, my question on this is Georgia, right? And didn't we have like a woman right after Georgia watching them? She was recording all of them, like shredding a crap load of documents. Didn't they shred like most of the stuff?
Well, that's what we were watching, and those with the anons were following that truck or whatever, and they called the FBI and they said, no, that was all the stuff from the last election. That we're just going to go ahead and shred and all that. And the FBI said, sure, no problem. Don't worry about it. But it was very suspicious for a couple of days after the election. They're out there shredding old ballots from the previous election. But this is interesting that these high-priced lawyers that Georgia was paying for are no longer on the case, and they basically hit the brick because they know it's bad. And Fulton County probably deleted everything. Isn't that admission of guilt right there when you don't have the evidence, when you're supposed to have a court order to secure that information? That'd be kind of bad when you don't have it. And if anybody's paying attention right here, look at this. Secretary of State Brad Roethlisberger reveals the letters laced with fentanyl was sent to Fulton County election officials, and they had to close a couple of their counting centers because they're having issues, and the letter's on the way, and we got to figure out before somebody goes and picks up that letter. That happened also today. If anybody's paying attention. Oh,
Winning.
It's just so great. So does that smell like panic? Anybody? Because I find this extremely funny to see this stuff happening like this.
And the timing of
but
everything.
It's panic.
But they're just going to
working together. Sorry, Art.
The fact is they're doing it, and they're doing it again, and they have they don't really care about the fact that they're doing it again. that's what's worrisome, and this is why. Remember, we talked about this before, and I think amongst ourselves, maybe we were like, "Do you think there will be another 4-year election?" Maybe we talked about it online and live, but there's a very good chance that we don't even have another 4-year presidential election. There's a really good chance. That's scary as hell.
I can see that too. Yep. Or even have Trump saying that Biden's going to be saying it.
Go and read that one.
Breaking: Fulton County is doing a recount of all elections that took place on Tuesday, November 7th, 2 days ago. Recount will be Monday, November 13th at 1 p.m. Kaboom.
The county's doing it. But the county's doing it, so who cares? The fact is, unless you have an independent audit do it, then you're never going to be able to rely on those results.
Yep, we all know about those things, the difference between an audit and just running this recount. So the other thing is I'm going to have to play these crazy unhinged people. I don't know if anybody you guys saw this, but this is Virginia, and they're basically going right after the Republicans are out here. This is your average leftist progressive person. Look at how crazy this person is and the way he responds.
Completely blows it out of proportion.
If you tried to overthrow the election, you might as well have been walking up to my head on the way to the polling station, putting a gun in my head, trying to tell me not to vote. You expect me not to take that fucking personally? You fucking try to overthrow elections with violence, and then you're out here among decent people.
Thanks for
what do you
coming
have to
outside.
say that, huh? What's on your fucking what are your policy prescriptions?
Have a nice day. You've already
fucking
voted.
rapist rights.
Yeah.
Involving yourself in people's fucking families and their fucking bedrooms.
It's pretty wild.
You fucking animal.
He seems nice.
Ask to see his prescription list.
Next year, I'm gonna fucking remember you personally.
Thank you.
I bet you.
It's enough of that crap, but you get the idea. Just unhinged, crazy people that are still out there. But we're not done yet, because look at this. We got a new mayor in St. Louis Park, Minnesota, hails from Somalia. Oh, look at that. They're so happy with each other. The squad has got another friend hanging out there in that state. So they got that election up and running again. And just remember, Keith was the one that was pointing out the election interference and that guy driving around in the car the whole time and saying he's going to go get votes and he's getting paid for it. That was all what happening just a couple of years ago in that same district. So I just want to say that's Ilhan Omar's Minnesota area that they're all running through that stuff again. So I just wanted to put that out because she got censored. Did you guys hear about this? They actually voted to censor Rashid Tlaib, or however you say her last name out there. I want to play the funny clip over here. Oh, I didn't want to get that far yet, but I do have a funny clip right here. Look at this. This is everything the Democrats are saying against the Republicans in this whole system, but it's just Democrats in a nutshell. This is everything they say every time because everybody's crying over here, and I thought this was funny. Listen to this.
Black people, the insurrection, racism.
That's perfect.
Black people, the insurrection.
It's got a beat to it.
Terrorists. Insurrection,
Just saying. Those are your talking points. So you don't have to listen to any of the other crap because those are all the things they want you to pay attention to.
Hulk, you know who was the same as him? Same as her. There was another guy who was a police officer testifying the other day in the January 6th stuff, and the same thing. These terrorists they were trying to talk me into getting onto their side. It's like he was reliving like the most traumatic experience of his life right there and then, like yesterday or whatever. And it was completely just like this. The melodramatic BS needs to go.
Yeah. So again, we have the new Speaker of the House, seems to do pretty good. He's been on the hot seat quite a bit. But did you guys know he does impressions?
Oh, yeah. Saw some of those.
Yeah. So again, I'm not going to play any of this. We'll save this for Saturday. But he does Mitch McConnell. He does Trump. I mean, he's got 4 minutes of doing comedy here. That's pretty damn impressive. So we'll go over those on Thursday, but he's doing a pretty damn good job. The audio's kind of whack, but I just wanted to point that out. And the other thing over here that the left has pointed out that he has installed with his son, who's 17. This is back in 2022. He installed the Covenant Eyes type program to kind of say that if either one of us is watching porn, then you'll have the accountability partner to talk about it, because they're a very religious family and 17-year-old son on the internet. You can see how bad that can go. But again, the left is attacking him for having this type of spying app on his son's phone to make him not watch porn. So that was their attack on that side. So it's a modern day wiretapping program. So anyways, just wanted to point that stuff out.
His son's phone.
That's
Nice.
horrible. That's how we learned all the tricks back in the day, guys.
That's how you get your maneuvers going.
I didn't know about all. Well, never mind. I'll save it for Peter.
Well, yeah, I think in the last 20 years, kids' access to the internet has now just gone crazy compared to the way it was 20 years ago. You have to think about that. When my children, who are now young adults, they went through this whole age where they've had cell phones, they've had computers, they've had Xboxes, they've had access to the internet since the internet was born. And that they're the internet generation. And so safeguards, and I mean, I can remember having monitoring devices to know where I still use one single Apple ID so that I can know what the hell they're downloading in terms of apps. Believe it or not. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to get it separated because sometimes they spend money. I don't want them to. But anyway, that's another story.
Passcode. Anybody want to make any comments about that last story we were just talking about, the Covenant Eyes or anything like that? Because the other part I want to get to is the protest over here. And I'm surprised they left this up for the next morning over here in front of the White House with the pro-Palestinian signs, and nobody went out there and tried to clean any of this stuff off. And left all these red handprints for the news to take photos of the next morning. So it was perfectly deal.
Exactly.
I thought that was great.
You nailed it right on the head. That's exactly what that was for. They don't want to clean that up. They want to make sure everybody sees it. But you know what? Their orders were to not breach that fence. If you guys saw, I tweeted out the other day. I said my guess is that their orders were not to breach that fence yet. But yeah, if they do, man, they got all sorts of bad stuff waiting for them on the other side there. Like microwave stuff, sound stuff. Oh, what do you got, buddy?
Did you see the video though? The overhead video shots of just how many people. I mean, and again, you gotta understand.
So many.
They're wearing masks. They're masking up. They got the slogans for the pro-Palestinian slogans, but they got the same little Antifa slogans and the LGBTQ slogans and whatever. It's the same crowd. It's the same group of people, the BLM activists, the Antifa activists, the pro-Palestinian. They're the same people out there protesting that were there doing the BLM Antifa protests. It's the same folks.
And now you got the queers for Palestine too. It's like, yeah, let's bring that back to your Middle East, and we'll see how many.
Send them to Gaza. Yeah. Send those social justice warriors over there. See how that pans out.
Oh, look, he's flying.
Yeah, top of the building. Yay.
Yeah, without a head. Yeah, that's normal. Speaking of bad people, let's get right to this little story here, because Donald Trump's a Nazi and they're still pushing the same bullshit they did so many years ago. Here it is.
People would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press.
She's forecasting.
And you could see it in countries where, well, Hitler was duly elected. That's right. Right? And so all of a sudden, somebody with those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies, would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in jail. And they didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do.
Yeah, he should have done it the first time. But anyways, yeah, lock her up. I think that's a plus.
Wait. You got a video of her talking about why we have to go fight in Ukraine? It's democracy. They're fighting for our democracy. The dude just advocated to shut down all the elections. He's been arresting all his political opposition. He's trying to assassinate one of his key political opponents. Who's Hitler?
Yeah, well, they don't see
Zelensky
that.
or Trump? It's Zelensky.
Biden.
Biden, she's forecasting, she's foreshadowing what Biden is actually wanting to do. People are taking Trump's comment out of context, because when he was making this comment, it's been all over the Twitters in the last day or two, is his comments about, he said, if I was this and I was this and I was this, if you look at what he was saying, he was actually parroting if he was Joe Biden and what Joe Biden did with the Justice Department to come after him, and how if it was him doing it, he would be removed immediately.
I wasn't sure who you were talking, if you were talking about Biden or if you were talking about Zelensky there, but I think
Trump.
It both met. No, when you were talking about, jailing his political opponents and whatnot, because it really rings true for both of them, Zelensky and Biden.
Oh, Biden wants to be like Zelensky. He wants to be like Zelensky, and Zelensky's doing it to piss off Biden because well, we'll talk about it in international. We'll wait till international. Just remember this. Just remember Hillary saying this.
Yeah. Yep. What else do we get this week? Oh, we got subpoenas coming from James Comer. We got one for Hunter Biden, James Biden, and a Rob Walker. Also added Eric Schwinn, Marvin Yang, George Burgess, and Elizabeth. I can't even say that last name. Naftali.
That's the person.
So in addition, Chairman Comer requesting transcribed interviews with the former Encore Holdings LLC representative regarding loans to the Bidens received. So this is happening. Is this a good thing or a bad thing, Ardoc?
Good. Ardoc, I got a question for you. I mentioned it yesterday in the show. We got one check for $200,000, another check for $49,000. Says loan repayment. Comer also came out and said there's like a good another 9 family members. He's not going to be able to keep that charade going on of the loan repayments through 10 different friggin' family members. It's going to be really difficult to push that narrative.
There's precedent, and this is something that I'm assuming Rudy Giuliani's got to have videos on this somewhere. He's had to, because anybody that's had to deal with the mafia and the Italian mafia in particular, RICO. This is a normal process for unraveling RICO, and this is exactly what they do. They're able to establish a pattern that shows how money was hidden, and the courts have looked at this. Criminal courts have looked at this for a long time. So if they're able to establish this pattern, then and again, they don't need to prove a criminal case in an impeachment. They need to simply it's a political process. Impeachment is. If they've got enough general information to show that this looks like there's smoke and there's probably smoke, then they can politically just impeach him. Do they have enough votes? Well,
that's the question.
Don't know. That's the question.
That's the question.
They're trying to turn public opinion is what they're trying to do.
The David Weiss that's going after Hunter Biden's tax fraud case, he was testifying too. That information did come out also. Is it basically all the same? Yes. Did he was he allowed to bring cases in other states? No. So has he been on a short list with the Biden administration, the DOJ? Yes. Is he staying to his story that's changed after the fact? Yes, he is staying on that line. So David Weiss did go and testify, but that's just basically what it comes down to. There's really nothing to it, and he's stuck to his guns. So that's on that side. What else happened this week? Oh, read this for me. I totally missed this. Go ahead and read that, Space Shot.
Okie dokie. Let's see. An informant for I read that. This is crazy. An informant for disgraced U.S. Attorney Rod Rosenstein has apparently died 1 week after Cheryl Atkinson submitted new documents in her lawsuit uncovering the man's role in the spying. Cheryl Atkinson said, "I wish I were making this up in my ongoing suit over the government spying on my computers. I submitted this document to the court. It proved one agent who admitted spying on me and many others had indeed worked as an informant for U.S. Attorney Rod Rosenstein, as he had claimed." I think this is back from 2015. About a week later, the informant was reported dead, which of course means he can't provide more details of the operation and the historic clerk's default I received against him in my lawsuit. The first known such decision in a case of government spying on journalists pretty much will go nowhere.
Now, before you click off here, what's the name of the alias name and then the actual name of the informant?
I don't remember, dude.
It says it right there in the document. It's right there in the document.
The left one, dude. I can't believe I didn't see this the other day, Arda. I did this whole story. I read the thing, and I was going, I wonder if it's that dude that everybody thought was Clapper, and it was Ryan Dark White.
Ryan Dark White, a.k.a. Jonathan Ambrose McGreevy. And there's this whole deal that I went down the rabbit trail with my Twitter. That's why I said, read my Twitter. So I don't know if you read my Twitter. But then I
Oh,
sent a
wow.
message back to Atkinson, and I'm like, okay, this McGreevy that's involved with what's that? Lynn Wood. Okay.
Lynn Wood had
Oh,
interviewed
shit.
him, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, this whole thing. It's all a big, huge deal, and amongst we'll call them MAGA Q type bloggers that are out there, and this whole mess. This dude, Jonathan Ambrose McGreevy, is a who is he? He's a spook. He's a freaking ghost. He's a spook.
What else I got for you guys? Oh, a quick note over here. This was on
And he's
November
not dead.
7th.
He's not dead.
He's not dead yet, but we did want to talk about something. November 7th, reported 4 current and former LA Sheriff's Department employees died of suicide in a 24-hour lifespan. We had that issue with the New York ones also dying all in a short period of time. Something to keep an eye on. That was just an interesting story to come out about deaths here. And then we're going to get into some of these stories that all happened in one day. Tron, you there? Let's go ahead and read some of this stuff, Tron.
New details. Elected officials, doctors, lawyers among clients who paid for sex at illegal Massachusetts brothels, feds say. And this came out today, I believe. And developing guys. Feds bust up Asian brothels operating in D.C. area whose clients include elected officials, Pentagon officers, and federal contractors with security clearance. Prostitution ring run out of luxury apartments in Fairfax and Tysons, Virginia.
This is so great.
10.
Keep going.
10 members and associates of the Gambino crime family arrested in coordinated U.S.-Italian takedown, charged with racketeering conspiracy involving violent extortions, assaults, arson, and union-related crimes. And this all happened this week. This is crazy. This is a nice little combination here. And we have resignations on top of it. So how great is that? And even the Zelenskys,
Yeah, we're going to get to that particular story because we're going to go down that one. So I dropped it. You had put this back out and put any politicans connected to organized crime. And then I put the Nancy Pelosi was just subpoenaed last week. And then of her family's ties to the Boston mob, if I remember right on that side. And then you had dropped this, dropping Clinton Global Initiative launching network to provide humanitarian aid to Ukrainians. Was there anything else you want to talk about on that?
Well, that was like recent, and we heard that, and this was around the same time that Abramovich also started getting her hands in there. So all the demons, all the vampiric cabal are coming together for humanitarian aid, which I think, Doc, gets funneled back to the very people that gave it to them, not us, the American taxpayers, but the pockets of our so-called politicians.
No, the whole Clinton Global Initiative has been connected to the Ukrainians. $28 billion, the largest donations were funneled through Pinchuk. And Pinchuk and Soros are the guy that basically cornered Zelensky and said, don't you agree to this? But this Olena Zelensky, so just so
This
people
one.
can
Right here.
understand, this is gets you back to your pedophilia and your child trafficking deal, okay? Because this is why part of this Ukraine war is happening. It's to cover up Biden's stuff, also to let the neocons make a chaos out of Ukraine, but also to punish Ukrainians and to get the kiddies. Because on day 2, we watched this happen, Sampo and I, on day 2 of the Russian special military operation, February 24th, February 25th, somewhere around there. I remember sitting there and we're like, when is Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kiev, going to, launch and announce the evacuation plan? Because everything was chaos. There was all the plans that they said was going to happen. They were ready for it. They weren't ready for it. They didn't initiate. They didn't want people to leave. They were upset that people were leaving. They expected people to stay there and to fight the tanks in the streets with sticky bombs. Okay. But what they did do is they got all the orphans on a bus and they put them on a train and they got them out the hell out of the country and they sent them to various different places. So they took the orphans away right away. Some of them went to Great Britain. And then from there, they went to Canada, supposedly on a field trip. Okay. They're still not accounted for. And then thousands of them, over 2,600 Hulk, live mic.
Mute Hulk.
Wait, hold up. Oh,
all right, well,
sorry about that. I was on the other side of the room. I apologize.
Yeah, it's all right. You were just live, Mike. 2,600 children are still unaccounted for in Turkey. They're related to Zelensky's wife's foundation that were supposed to have delivered these kids to foster parents and the government organizations that would care for them in Turkey, and they're still unaccounted for. Now, in this particular story, a driver who worked for the foundation is testifying and coming out publicly saying he was hired to take these children and drop them off to pedophiles. He's actually coming out and saying that's what was going on. And meanwhile, when this news story first broke, and we reported on this like a year ago, more than a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago.
The helicopter crash?
No. Well, that's the Department of the Interior. That's something different, but it was organizing through the Department of the Interior, if you would. And that minister was taken out, and he was traveling with children, wasn't he? That we reported on that. That was
and
part
no
of it.
wives.
And no wives. So they were taking them to a undisclosed location that wasn't the direction that they were supposed to be going. But that's another story. In this particular case, what's going on is when this came out, when this story about her and the Turkey and the missing children came out over a year and a half ago, and the helicopter crash happened much later. This is when they went and they started accusing Putin and the Russians of stealing children. In fact, when the children were processed through Red Cross and went to live with relatives or people that their parents wanted them to go to through the church and the Orthodox Church and through the Red Cross organization, all those kids were properly documented. That's when we started to see those cases come out, was because Zelensky's wife and the attention was being drawn on this child trafficking problem in Ukraine. So just to understand, that's where the International Criminal Court case against Putin came from, is because they were going after Zelensky's pedophilia ring with the Biden administration.
Oh, boom.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Hulk, let me thank
what else I got for?
Hulk, let me thank really quickly. Les Kutch with the Rumble Rant says, we need a new party, the America First Party, which, yeah, this uniparty crap needs to go. And the other two are from the same person here. Mark of Reality says, the only good news to come out of Georgia, the fact that CNN's headquarters were closed. They're a bunch of vote cheaters, which I agree. And the last one, which I think is probably correct too. Mark of Reality, again, with the other Rumble Rant says, if all the lawyers quit at once, that shows there's some sort of ethical problem with the case. The lawyers cannot say why they quit. Their client still has attorney-client privilege. But yeah, I would guess that's, I mean, why would an attorney resign, Ardoc? You know what I mean?
Because they don't have the votes. They know that they don't have the evidence and it's gone, and they're going to get out the door because they know it's going to go bad.
But attorneys get paid no matter what. The only reason an attorney resigns from a case is one, a conflict of interest, or two, non-payment.
Exactly.
Conflict of morals.
Go and read this. Read this top line here. As long as we're going along our pedophilia stuff.
Go ahead.
Oh, breaking. Former CIA officer Brian Jeffrey Raymond just pled guilty to drugging and sexually drugging and sexually abusing many women in countries all over the world. He's also video recorded 25 plus nude women while they were unconscious. Seems like something that everyone should know about. I think this guy went to the Bill Cosby date rape school. Oh my goodness, what a scumbag.
Yeah. Just saying we're looking for good people and, still haven't found one yet.
I can't
As
find
you're
many.
talking about stuff like that.
Oh.
Read this one right here. Go ahead and read that.
Sexy.
Because, we're supposed to be all inclusive.
Hell yeah. Sexy mama. What's up? Who's that? Alabama mayor, Baptist pastor commits suicide after being exposed as transgender curvy girl Brittany Blair. Oh, no. Why is it always like that, too? Why is it always like the pastor or something like that? It's, oh my goodness, that's horrendous.
Just saying as we get in through this stuff on the week.
The ones you trust the most.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah. Remember the manifesto that was never disappeared and always throws into some big giant box and disappears like this? Pay attention. Remember? The Transvesto, right?
The
Just gonna go
tranny
ahead and mark that thing.
Oh my gosh.
Trannyfesto. Oh,
Manifesto.
One more
That's
time.
freaking
One more
great.
time.
It's fragile.
Trannyfesto. That is
That's
friggin' great.
hilarious.
Who made that?
I love it.
At APOCTOZ. Awesome.
Yes,
F
so
you
it
faggots?
did leak out. It did leak out of their Nashville school convenience shooter Audrey Hale's Death Day Manifesto targets crackers with white privileges. I want to kill you crackers. I hope I have a high death count. I'm ready. I hope the victims aren't ready to die. So interesting. It came out. There's only 3 pages out of, I guess, several 100 or so that are out there. They've gone ahead and fired, or sorry, what they say, put on vacation 7 of the officers at this police station where this thing is supposedly kept. And Steven Crowder has come out and said that's still not one of the ones that gave us the info, guys. So keep trying. So he's got somebody on the inside that seems to be a lot higher than the officers that have been put on leave, accusing them of leaking said info. But only 3 out of the big group, and the news basically censored the hell out of this thing. Facebook, Google, and Instagram basically all took it off. So you couldn't find it on any one of those programs or platforms, I should say. So
I know who gave it to
again,
him.
at least who?
I'm not going to say. I know who gave that to Crowder, but I'm not saying anything. If they're not going to say it, I'm not going to say it. But I do know who gave that
At
to
least
Crowder.
not live.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys later. If you
Tell
guys
us later.
if you guys want to join my OnlyFans, you can pay $199 a month. I'll give you that information. Patriot with a Y.
Info. $22 a month subscription for Twitter Spaces that you can listen to me on. Oh, I'm sorry, that's somebody we know.
Yeah. So again, they got binders, they got computers, they got hard drives, whole bunch of stuff, just not just those 3 pages. So more of that stuff is still coming out there. And the
what's the bottom line? What's the bottom line?
The bottom line is they were hiding the information because they didn't want anything to come out there. And the Biden administration's extremely pissed off that it came out. Here, right here. This is your answer right here. They're really pissed off that it came out.
And one of the things that we saw during the midterm elections is that people don't want their freedoms to be taken. They want us to fight for their freedoms. And so it is shameful. It is disturbing, and our hearts go out to the trans community as they are under attack right now.
Yeah, they're under attack, and they're not very happy that thing got leaked out. But yeah, they don't want the trans community going out and killing Christians. That would be bad narrative for the rest of the world, right?
Okay, so
they're already crazy.
Just to make sure that this is clear, because maybe some people don't know about this whole story. Okay, so it turns out that the shooter was actually a tranny.
It was a girl
White.
that transitioned to a boy, and it did have history with the school and some of the administrators at the school itself over a long period of time, and has felt ridiculed by the Christian theology and went back and shot a bunch of people.
And she has a sneaker collection.
And so this person has absolutely no history whatsoever of prior mental illness.
I don't know. I didn't actually go back. I think I do have
I
something
thought
in
she
the
was
back,
on the
but
radar. She had like a maybe I'm wrong, but I thought she was like
therapist. Yes.
The fact of the matter is, if they were wanting to be a transgender and to change their body, that would have 20 years ago qualified them for mental evaluation. And this is the whole point. What we used to treat as an abnormality, as not normal, is being forcibly normalized starting in the 80s with shows like Maury Povich and making them look like crazies, to then shaming us into treating them, and then to making it illegal for us to even say anything bad about them, even in a First Amendment protected constitution. This has been an intentional 20-year, 30-year process to make it so that they're now running the freaking country. And are they doing a good job? Hell no. They're insane. Surprise.
And dude, what about that friggin' thing right there? It said "F-U." I'm gonna say the word because it was on there. It says "F-U faggots." Since when does transgender people start, talking against?
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them that are having there's a whole study about this, many studies about this now, of people that went through and they're now angry about having gone through gender reassignment surgery and they want to undo it. There's a whole process about that now.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of the videos because they're obviously, you know, it happened to them 14, 15 or something like that. Now they're 23 or 27 and they got, you know, a 6-year-old penis and they can't have kids, or I don't have a vagina or tits to have kids. They're regretting that, and they felt lied to, and there is no other answer. What do you do? A lot of them commit suicide, and it's bad. But again, that's not the side that we probably lost. I'm getting a spinny up here.
Well, what I was saying though, Ardoc, is like the slang that
I Zoom
that the transgender is saying. You know,
wait, he's closing Zoom. Wait for the program.
F you, you know what words? Close the program. Wait for it to respond. No, don't do it.
Or just don't even respond to it. Just like let it think for itself.
Hulk's
You
back in
choose
the room.
neither.
I still see him on the screen, but he's back in the waiting room.
Choose your own adventure. Close or wait. Go to page 97. I'm done.
Should we ask?
The easiest books ever, guys. It's like 4 pages, but there's hundreds of them.
All right, give me a share. I can't share.
Oh, you are sharing. All right, let me share. I'll stop your sharing.
Your system
sharing
hasn't stopped
now.
sharing.
No, I stopped sharing. Now can you? There you
go. It says no.
Oh goodness.
It says I'm in the room.
There we go.
There it goes. There it goes. Your sound. This is so crazy. I think it's Ardoc and the long connection. It's all your fault, Ardoc.
There we go.
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Where were we at? Get back to where we were at. That's her, crazy lady. Where are we else?
Oh yeah, what I was saying was
oh, yeah. You
the fact
read
that,
this?
that the transgender is using the terminology like saying faggots. Like I just thought that was weird. But anyways, federal officials have decided the FBI will leave its iconic but decaying headquarters in downtown Washington for the Maryland suburbs. Multiple people familiar with the decision said Wednesday, Washington Post report. Dude, didn't they move out like 2 years ago? And it was like a friggin' ghost town? 70 Republicans voted to reward the weaponized FBI with a new $300 million headquarters, larger than the Pentagon. Sad. Oh, what is
Director Ray did come out and say that the GSA wasn't really adhering to the rules of the site selection. It seems a lot of the FBI doesn't want to drive that far because the farther location that they all have to go to. So I find it interesting that he did come out and say something about it, but it is done. It is ready to go. They're going to spend money. So that did happen. That's ready to go out there. And then we have to talk about this guy. You guys saw this, right? Anybody?
Yeah, the boss retweeted this meme, and then we also saw pictures of himself doing the T-shirt thing with his clothes off. Which apparently every boss villain has to take off their shirt, but when they go after him, apparently.
I wanted to ask you, Tron, who are the other people that have done stuff like this? Do you remember?
Well, like Geraldo got caught with that stuff, and so did Wiener, and like a bunch of others. And I think even what Ed Buck's like, and all those Democratic, they're all weird like this. They got to like do this. Yeah. And even Letitia James showed her little milkies like months ago. That's disgusting. Those teardrops.
So evidently, this guy does the newsletter for the local school he's at. He's been doing it for a long time, but he also does this naked photo thing with this particular website that's not really public. And then he took this photo and sent it to the people on the newsletter for the university that he has. So it was quite interesting. So go ahead and read that comment right there for me.
In addition to the Fulton County Sheriff who arrested Boss starring in a gay softcore porn video at Marco Polo, the judge who is harassing DJT in New York City takes naked selfies in the mirror at the gym and then posts them to the high school alumni newsletter he maintains. Engeron included a bonus torso photo, but luckily spared his readers the bottom half. Nevertheless, in addition to fan mail, he made sure to include a before and after shot. These guys are sick, guys. And even the body's not normal. Like, this is like abnormal reptilian bodies. It's disgusting.
Wait. This one, right? Where's she at? Oh yeah, go ahead and read this one.
This one of the most damning screenshots I have archived from the Twitter account of Dawn Marie Engeron, the wife of the judge, the leftist judge who is overseeing President Trump's civil trial in New York City on October 30th of 23. While the trial was taking place, she tweeted, pleading the fifth won't save Trump family members in Judge Engeron's courtroom. She would know, I guess, since her husband is Judge Engeron. This appears to be an admission by the judge's wife. What Judge Engeron has already decided how this trial will go. There needs to be a mistrial. This is truly unethical, and the judge needs to recuse himself. And there was a photo of, right there. Look at the meme. They can't even meme it right. It's a horrible meme, guys. They're using like the 1995 technology, F Trump, and this is the judge's wife. So it's almost like they're setting the stage for failure. Oops, we lost the case because my silly wife did something she wasn't supposed to. No, that's not the case. They know that they're on a sinking ship, and they're just bringing it down any way they can. And I love the boss's lawyer, dude. She's so badass. She's like Melania.
I got a question for you, Tron, because I think you probably seen this.
That was damning screenshots from him.
Space Shot, I can hear you.
Can you hear me,
Hulk? Can you hear Space Shot?
I cannot hear Space Shot whatsoever. I hear Tron. I hear Ardoc. There's Space Shot.
Tron, if you want to comment really quick on the picture that's been going around of Trump in the courtroom.
Hold on.
It didn't look like him. Didn't look like Trump in the. I think Stu Peters posted it out. It looked like a fake Trump in the courtroom. But I only saw like a very short clip, so I think it had to be fake. No.
Yeah, it was all because of the SBF. Remember when he had that fake photo of himself looking all like muscular? And then I guess someone threw an AI screenshot over the boss's photo to make him look younger and that kind of idea. Is that what you're talking about? What just happened?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Because Sam Bankman-Fried looked like a damn supermodel. Like
like Brad Pitt,
like thin and stuff. But they did spot on with the girl. They made her look like she had Down syndrome.
Yeah, she had like a fetal alcohol syndrome going on. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Again, we don't, advocate, but she has something else going on with herself. Yeah.
So Mike is on his cell phone. Yes, you're in the garage. Hulk, are you getting space shots? Okay, are you getting space shots? Oh, no, that's why. He gone.
Okay. Is it lemon lift or Earl Grey today, Space Shot? Which one are we going with? Spearmint?
We go with lemon ginger.
Lemon ginger, good for the stomach. Ginger's good. So is the lemon. All right.
Hey, all right.
Can you hear me now?
Hulk? Only when you talk, and I'm sharing the wrong window.
There we go.
So we'll
it's GTA.
This is quality.
All right. Yeah, quality show. Sorry about this. So evidently, we're going to continue on with some of the new censorship that's coming. I don't know if anybody's been talking about it, but the FCC normally runs the administration side of your internet, your rules, regulations. They pick people to run these particular boards. People have rules and they vote on things and they go and set rules that everybody has to abide by. The government seems that that's too much for the FCC, and they want to take everything that has to do with the internet from birth to death. I mean, infrastructure, information, and all that, and move it right over to the Biden administration. And they want to go ahead and take control of that because they need the internet to be equity diverse. Is the big thing they're looking for, to make sure everybody has a fair deal on the internet itself. And it's going to be pretty bad. This is supposed to be voted on next week, I think it's coming. And Ardoc, you talked a little bit about that because I threw it to you and you went digging a little bit for sweeping, unprecedented, and unlawful things. Do you think it's going to be really challenged by the Supreme Court?
This is the commissioner. Okay, so the commissioner's again. Do you remember, Tron, when Kavanaugh's hearing was going on and they talked to him about the FCC and the Consumer Credit Protection Agency, whatever? It's the same principle with the FCC. These are, in some cases, unelected bureaucrats that are put into this FCC. Yes, they do. People do select them. They do get selected, but they're not elected by us. And they're not necessarily appointed by the president. I think he gets to appoint one or two. I can't remember how it works. I'd have to go back through it. So the FCC is basically worried that this control, this oversight in this bipartisan committee structure that they have is being taken away by the Biden administration. And so he is very upset, and he has listed out his concerns. And I think I tweeted about them, very specific concerns that were, do you have it up there or no?
Did I grab it? I think I got it. That was the AI thing I want to cover right here. Algorithms for equity and civil rights. You want to read through some of this?
Is this the?
Oh, that's the AI. I'm sorry. No, let me go to your Twitter really quick. I'll go grab it from over there because I don't see it right there. Apologize.
He may have to go a little ways. I don't remember what I posted.
Oh, you went crazy, huh?
Every day I usually am on posting.
That's
some
October 30th, dude. Where are you at?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I would have probably posted it in tip secret. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you.
Hard.
It doesn't matter.
But it's not a good thing. Here, I got a Glenn Beck clip. We give you 2 minutes of that. He explains it out. Here, let's go that way first.
The Biden administration has just put forward a plan for digital equity, and it is a plan for all internet services and all infrastructure. According to FCC Commissioner Carr, President Biden's plan hands the administrative state effective control of all internet services and infrastructure in the country. Never before in the roughly 40-year history of the public internet has the FCC, or any federal agency for that matter, claimed this degree of control over it. The plan calls for the FCC to apply a far-reaching set of government controls that the agency has not applied to any technology in the modern era. You got that? This has never been done before. No communication devices have ever had this kind of control suggested by the government, let alone applied. He went on and said Congress never contemplated the sweeping regulatory regime that President Biden asked the FCC to adopt, let alone authorize the agency to implement it. Here's what's happening. As with everything else the Biden administration is doing, his broadband policies are failing. And the building of internet infrastructure in this country, the price of it has gone through the roof. FCC wants new 5G broadband services, but it's all needlessly been blocked and delayed by new broadband infrastructure regulatory red tape. So the government is blocking the private sector from doing it, and then using that to say, see, we need to take complete control. This is breathtaking control of all information. The rules that are suggested and are going to be voted on, quick, hurry, next week. The federal government has a roving mandate to micromanage nearly every aspect of how the internet functions, from how internet service providers allocate capital, where they build, to the services that consumers can purchase, from the profits that ISPs can realize, and how they market and advertise services, to the discounts and promotions that consumers can receive. If passed, the FCC will be empowered for the first time to regulate every ISP's service termination terms, use of customer credit, account history, credit checks, account termination, among other items. He said, this plan reads like a document drawn up in the faculty lounge of a university's Soviet studies department. It includes plans to empower the FCC to regulate every single aspect of the internet for the first time ever.
I think we kind of get the idea there at that point.
I posted
As
at
one
the
part
bottom.
of it.
I posted at the bottom of Tip Secret a tweet that because this is the one where you asked me, "What do you think?" and I wrote it to you, and then you reposted it, and I went ahead and like, dude, you don't have to. I can tweet my stuff.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Those are just the clips
But
that you put out. Yeah.
hold on. Go to the very bottom.
Yeah, that's
that
the one.
Okay, this is during the Obama administration. His attorney or solicitor generals identified illegal barriers to doing what the Biden administration is trying to do right now. That basically, and this whole PDF is essentially about that. And maybe you can drop this link in the chat because people need to educate themselves. This is in violation. The Supreme Court would view what the Biden administration is attempting to do here as violating the Constitution, is what Obama's own attorneys are arguing. This is Nazi-style power grab to make sure that the internet is controlled. Why do they want to do this now? What's the concern?
Right before the election.
Right before the election. We're going to go into war. Oh, no. Jesus, there he goes. We're going to go into war, and nobody will be able to say anything. You can't say anything. You can't say anything. If you say anything, you're going to be put in an internment camp. You're a potential terrorist. This is what it's for.
And this also, think about it, Doc, because this is like in lockstep with what they're trying to push with this whole car shutoff valve in your vehicle. Why would they need the ability to shut down your vehicle? I mean, you know how hard it was to travel during pandemic, and now imagine a situation. Forget about the smart meter. Now the cars are going to be required to have an auto shutoff.
Yep, they coming. I was talking to somebody in the insurance industry today. The insurance companies are even shutting down. The banks are backing away from being able to provide services. It's getting ready. Sorry, I'll
Did it
get
go
back.
Flippity pop? Yep. The other part of this entire thing I wanted to throw on here is the AI here on top of it.
Well, that Biden, what did you have there about Obama? Because that falls right in line.
Well, we've talked about that before. This is Obama's been advising the Biden administration for the last 6 months about the direction of AI needs to go, because this also gets Chuck Schumer into the loop, because when he started hearing this stuff, they wanted to go and try to regulate the AI type of stuff. So that got the Democrats moving, and I think Obama was the one that was leading it and holding Zoom meetings with White House aides at Biden's request. So that does come out of NBC. That was on the 3rd. And then that was the whole AI thing. And I didn't realize that this AI thing, that they used the Defense Production Act to take over everything with AI itself. So kind of like what they're doing with the FCC and the internet, they're doing the same thing with AI. They want to have basically full run of what's happening with AI, the controls. They want to kind of create it like a salon, the guy was explaining, like they do over in European countries, where they talk about this particular idea. They hold quorums, they talk about it, they flip it upside down and come up this answer. Basically, okay, you guys can go ahead and do it. We think it's okay. So then you go to do it. Here in the United States, so it's open innovation on the internet and technology. That's why all those companies are here in the United States and not a European country trying to develop this stuff. But I thought this was quite interesting about this AP story right here. Anybody want to make a comment on that one right there? If you want to start at the top under Biden signs.
Read it or make a comment?
Read it. Well, you want to read it?
Biden signed his executive order mandating, wait, is that what you're talking about?
Yep, read that.
Okay. Biden signed his executive order mandating AI adhere to DEI equity principles. That's the LGBTQ buzzwords. After watching Mission Impossible. The U.S. is no longer a serious country. Our brain-addled president is basing policy off fictional movie plots, except they're not fictional movie plots. They're always put in there ahead of time. The issue of AI was seemingly inescapable for Biden at Camp David one weekend. He relaxed by watching the Tom Cruise film Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. And the film's villain is a sentient and rogue AI known as the entity that sinks a submarine and kills its crew in the movie's opening minutes. So there you go.
So yay, it's not going to be good, because even I thought the interesting about this AI bill, because it also includes all programs and software that they want to put into associated with the AI, is they want to be able to scan every line of code. So that's interesting. If like Google was going to bring out their AI program, the government under this type of rules would have to allow them to go and look through every line of code and see what's actually there. So I find that quite interesting that
This is nothing new.
going to have the hand in the cookie jar and be able to see everything behind that all these other companies that are doing that the United States government hasn't really been able to fulfill in their AI side of their system.
This is nothing new. This back in the 1920s, if you go back through all your old Popular Mechanics or it wasn't called Aerospace at the time, it was another magazine. They studied something called electrogravitics. It was a very big study, and everybody, Northrop, they weren't Northrop Grumman them, and all of the big airplane guys and people that we now know of as the military industrial complex were after this, trying to be the first to the table with electrogravitics. Flying cars. That's when all that stuff was real popular. Well, they solved it. And as soon as that happened, everything disappeared. Electrogravitics went dark, and it went into one of the very first SAP programs that the government runs that doesn't acknowledge that it exists. And it was taken under the Department of the Navy, and it was made secret. So this is not the first time our government has stepped in to take control of something that could have far-ranging security, national security, and societal impacts.
Yeah, speaking of societal impacts, they put a kill switch in your vehicles made after 2026 here. So again, it did go through here. The kill switch amendment would defund the looming mandate that all new vehicles sold after 2026 equipped with technology can automatically disable the vehicle, is what they're shooting for here on this side. I wasn't going to play the video on there, but again, the way the guy was explaining it, you know how some your vehicles have lane avoidance type of technology, and if too many times it starts flashing the red light or whatever, basically they could disable your car. The car itself could decide that you're impaired at this point, and they're talking about some sort of sensors to see if your eyes are actually watching the road or whatnot. Having a sensor for alcohol inside the cabin of the vehicle itself to see if the driver could be impaired because of alcohol and whatnot. I mean, pretty crazy rules that they put in this thing. So I don't know how the car manufacturers are going to get it installed or whatnot, but yeah, they did vote it in, and it's supposed to be happening.
It's gonna be like Demolition Man when you get into an accident, you fill up with foam. But yeah, they're never doing this for our benefit, everybody. Just remember that. Whenever they have these things, it's always for their benefit. And, oh, hey, Hulk, you didn't want to pay this off? Oh, sorry, we shut your car down. Oh, you didn't want to comply with this? Sorry, we just shut your car down. Oh, I need to get to work. Yeah, well, you're going to have to comply, aren't you?
Oh, the other thing is the smart grid right on top of that, if you want to throw in there with the AI, because smart grid they're putting in through the Biden administration also because they know that the grid can't support all the electric vehicles. So they're going to use AI and power management and this whole system to make sure that they can make the power used across the United States more diversified, is what they're saying. So they could basically turn off the power to your house because we need to charge a whole bunch of Tesla cars or whatever. That's what they're doing for this new smart car.
You've traveled enough in this 1 week time period, your credits are disabled. You can no longer charge your car.
Exactly.
Carbon footprint's too big this week.
Your ESG score says that you've had too many Big Macs, sir. You're not allowed to order this food. Thank you so much.
So let's get into some international stuff because there's some crappy stuff happening here, and we'll talk a couple of record-breaking things. U.S. and its NATO allies served notice Tuesday that it will formally suspend the participation in the 1990 Treaty of Limiting Conventional Forces in Europe, making the demise of this landmark arms control agreement. So we're putting troops in Europe. Is that what's happening?
We've had troops in Europe.
Was this their rule saying we're doing it and we're taking the rules off?
It's just like in the United States where we have prohibition, constitutional prohibition about the quartering of forces. Okay. Similarly, this treaty was like that, was that we could not quarter forces in Europe, is the way I think I understand this. I'd have to go back and read it again. It's been years since I've looked at this. So basically the idea is the army can come in and take your home away. Okay. This happens in Ukraine right now. People get thrown out of their homes, get shot, get killed if they don't leave. That happens on both sides. Actually, I've heard stories. I've seen stories. So anyway.
Any comments about the ballistic missile shot down for the first time, 62 miles above the earth? First time ever? Uh-oh. You still there?
Well, I'll just say, could it be anything to do with like some of the old reports we've seen of UFOs going over missile silos and then being reported, and then the whole thing leaves, and then they come to find out, oh, well, look, these missiles won't launch anymore. They're not effective anymore. Who knows? Is it are we getting help from outside of our solar system here? Is it little people watching us to make sure we don't go boom?
Is this the Yemeni Houthis missile?
Yep.
Is that who this
exactly.
is? Okay. Yeah. So I do know about this. And the way it caught me by surprise, what was calling a ballistic missile. So yeah, the Houthis basically have said that they are on the side of the Palestinian resistance, the Hamas, doesn't matter, and they are at war. They've declared war against Israel, and they fired a missile at Israel, and yes, it was shot down. And I believe it was probably a Patriot or a THAAD missile system that shot down the ICBM. And because that Scud, that old Scud technology that they're using, because that's basically what it is, it's a Scud missile, probably provided by the Iranians at some point in time. And yeah, it was shot down.
What was the other thing over here?
I believe it. I don't believe it was shot down by the Israelis. I believe it was shot down by our U.S. naval forces again. I don't believe it was the Israelis. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Interesting. You wanted a Syrian attack again? We're over there blowing more stuff up over there. And did we actually kill somebody?
I don't know where you dropped this stuff because I haven't read any of this stuff. Syrian media is claiming that members of Iran's Islamic Republican Guard are dead and injured following U.S. strikes. That true. U.S. airstrikes killed members. This is back on November 8th. Okay, this is we reported on this last. Didn't we report on this last?
This is a second strike that happened last night. So we went and struck them again. President Biden's deal. So
this looks like the same one, but maybe.
No,
hold on,
this
go
is
back up. I'm reading the little statement by Lloyd Austin. It's the same same statement, almost verbatim, that they issued from the one that was back in October, I guess, or maybe the first of the month. Yeah, we have troops. We have a base, and we have troops, and we went and struck some buildings. Yeah. There's you can see Ramallah and Landing Zone 1, Mission Support Site Euphrates, Mission Support Site Green, etc. And then way down over there is Damascus, where the word Syria is. So that's where the government headquarters, the government capital is at. And we've got forces still in Iraq. Yeah, I forget. We still have forces in Iraq. That's crazy.
So that was supposedly we got attacked, kept getting attacked. So we went out and blew more stuff up in Syria.
We just need to get the hell out of Syria. There is no reason for us to be in Syria anymore. The story from Trump that the generals fed Trump was that we need to be there to protect the oil. bull. Syria does not want us there. We are illegally occupying a foreign country. The Russians did the bulk of the fighting with the United States and Hamas against the various different entities, the Hezbollah / Iranian Guard type folks. They were opposed. This is why this whole Iran versus Hamas thing is junk. It's fake. It's Hamas was on our side always. We funded them, we weaponized them, we equipped them. Okay, go ahead. So
the big story coming out is the AP, CNN, New York Times, and Reuters had journalists embedded with Hamas terrorists on the day of the attack because they knew before time. They even got the guy holding a grenade right here. Supposedly, this is one of CNN's supposed journalists holding a grenade as he's filming at the same time. He's going through.
Now, remember how the Global Engagement Center gets these people. We bring journalists, independent journalists in, and we train them up and we recruit them into our intelligence apparatus. That's what they are. They are independent journalists in some ways. That's how we can also deny that we have any affiliation with them. And so that's what a lot of these situations are in the CNN's case here. The real question is, how did they know? They already knew. They already got rounded up. They had already talked to their office. They already knew what was coming, and they were ready for it. It's because, like I told you way back in the beginning, we set this up. We went ahead and attacked the shipments, and I told you, watch what's going to happen. And sure enough, very next day, 2 days later, we got the situation with the Hamas attack on the 7th. Okay. Then we have these people already ready to go because it's already planned. It's set up. It's designed. Even Bibi's response is designed. And whether or not the players and the actors know the other parts doesn't matter. It's part of a very Hegelian step-by-step plan.
Yeah, here's your deal about the ceasefire POTUS about Bibi's 3 days, which we don't. That I heard earlier today. Like I said, it's been denied, and they're coming forth with the story that's been normal.
But here's the issue, okay? The issue is the Biden administration is getting the feedback. They're getting the polls. Sullivan is freaked out. Sullivan is freaked out bad. And he is in charge of Biden's reelection. That's even though he's the national security advisor, he is the guy that's in charge of Biden's reelection. And he is seeing the writing on the wall, and he's like, we got to fix this. And so let's get a ceasefire in place. That way we can appease the Islamic crowd, because the word has gone out, folks. And I'll get to that in a second. But the real issue here is they aren't talking to, our State Department isn't talking to Iran. Who are they talking to? They're talking to Qatar, where we had our CENTCOM, where we have had military presence, because that is who is running Hamas. That's where Hamas works through. That's who they trust. They aren't going through the Saudis, because the Saudis are not friendly with Hamas anymore. They aren't going through Iran because Iran is opposed to Hamas. They are not part of Hamas organization. They support Hezbollah. Okay, that's two different groups, two different very, very specific religious groups. One is Muslim Brotherhood and not Shia, and one is Shia. You have to understand, when you hear the media or politicians or Anthony Blinken telling you Iran and Hamas, okay, has Hamas gotten weapons from Iran? Very possible, very, very possible, because the whole Middle East, the way it works, you want something, usually it's going to come through Iran or through Yemen or maybe direct through Ukraine, but through Somalia or someplace like this, or North Africa. But at the end of the day, that's the issue. Don't come off this page yet. Don't come off this page yet.
I'm not.
Okay. Now, the real story here is that Biden and Sullivan, who's freaked out, have been given an ultimatum. They've been given an ultimatum, and so has Ursula von der Leyen, and so has Zelensky.
From who?
This is what people are wondering, where is this ultimatum coming from? And do you remember I told you? Remember I told you back in the summertime, I said these people have been told no nuclear war, no global war. If you don't listen to us, we will crash your economies to force you out, or we will eliminate you. That ultimatum has gone out again. If now it is Joe Biden, Ursula von der Leyen, and Zelensky must be out of power by the end of March, or your economies will be crashed and your people will throw you out on your ass. That is the ultimatum that has gone out. Okay. From the real power.
From the is that United Emirates out there putting that forward?
It's not just UAE. It's
okay.
It's the people. I don't know how to describe it. Okay. So that has gone out to people. And so they have if things are circulating, you're going to hear this coming through different sources again, is that they're looking for a Biden replacement. And you saw Vivek Ramaswamy. He knows. He's heard it because he talked about it during the debate. He says, whoever you're going to run, if it's going to be Gavin, because that's why Gavin is out there. They are going to replace Joe Biden. He must be replaced, or else the United States is going to be crashed. And we have never seen crashed. We haven't seen crash since the Great Depression, maybe even worse than the Great Depression. And that's what's being threatened to us. Okay, no global war, no conventional war. Sit your ass down and start behaving and fix this mess, or you're done. And now it's no longer or you're done. It's you must be gone. No more of you. That's the
yeah. Gavin Newsom. He got the what did he get the blessing from Xi saying Gavin Newsom's good to go?
I don't know. I think that's more chaos agent stuff because Biden is a Chinese guy. It's not a Xi guy, but Biden's a Chinese guy.
The quick note over here. Oh, where do we want to go over here? Did you meeting for foreign ministers of Jordan, Egypt, Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia with the U.S. Secretary started in Amman?
Blinken failed in Amman, in Jordan. So Biden, they refused to meet with Biden in some cases. They refused to meet with Blinken initially. Then finally Blinken got some meetings with them and it didn't go well. And so then Blinken goes back with his tail between his legs. He's unable to coordinate. He's unable to fix the problem of Biden getting out there and initially jumping on the side of Israel. And so who did they send? They sent CIA Director Burns. So Burns is over there right now working with Egypt, working with Qatar, working with Saudi Arabia, and trying to work a deal with Hamas. Why? Because they want to be, you're not allowed to say the word ceasefire. See the word ceasefire that Sprinter is using here, that's something that the Biden administration has sent out to all the news media and all of the pundits. You cannot say ceasefire. And Justin Trudeau accidentally got on the air the other day, and he was out there being asked some questions. He started to talk about, and this is why we really need a humanitarian. And it's a hilarious clip. I can't believe I forgot to send it to you, because he wanted to say ceasefire. He kind of says it, but then he covers it up with some other words, sounds, and then he goes on to talk about this humanitarian pause, okay? Because they don't want Biden to be seen as weak and capitulating to the Palestinians or to he's got to support the World Jewish Congress and Israel. Otherwise, he's seen as anti-Israel. And he's in a catch-22, and Sullivan is like freaking out. So Burns, the only real diplomat in the Biden administration, this is what it comes down to. There are no diplomats. Nikki Haley's not a diplomat. Vivek is not a diplomat. Biden administration, Blinken, and these other idiots are not diplomats. The only diplomat that he's got that's an adult in the room is CIA Director Burns, who used to be the ambassador to Russia. Okay. And so Burns is over there having talks with these people, trying to arrange the peaceful release of terrorists. And if they would focus on diplomacy instead of just giving carte blanche to Bibi to go bomb the shit out of everybody so Bibi can stay out of jail, because Bibi goes to jail if this war ends. Bibi goes to jail. Okay, that man right there goes to jail when the war ends because his administration is done. And so that now they're trying to play the Gaza war will go on for an indefinite period of time. Bibi is fighting Biden in this.
So he asked who will govern Palestine, and he says
Yes.
Israel will govern Gaza for an indefinite period of time.
And
But,
that's
yeah,
not,
they're going to take it over.
That's not what Blinken wants, and they've already got pictures posted. The Israelis already got pictures posted, being on the seashore with the Israeli flag and everything like that. That's to piss off the Palestinians so that they don't stop fighting, so they can keep on doing this military operation. This is Bibi playing games with Biden because he knows it's going to screw Biden's election chances up. Meanwhile, Biden hates Bibi, and Biden wants to get Bibi the hell out of the way. This is a very weird situation, a very upside down situation that we have here. But Blinken wants U.S. and European peacekeepers in Gaza to govern Gaza, to be the administrative police force for Gaza. Do you think that would go well, Tron and Space Shot?
No,
see if they're still
I don't think that would go. I don't think that would go over.
Okay. What would happen if we put U.S. peacekeepers in the middle of the most densely populated Palestinian state whose weapons Israel used to kill them? What do you think would happen?
Are they going to be LGBTQ? Are they? And we need to know their pronouns first, just to make sure how it was going to go.
Yeah, but what would happen?
Sitting
What would
ducks.
happen to those men? Sitting ducks. They would be killed. And what's going to happen then if they get killed? Then we get sucked into a broader conflict.
That's the whole plan.
That's the whole plan. So it's been shot down. Nobody's going to let that. So they ran over to India to go talk to India. And as you're watching pictures of the tunnels and whatever, there's actually been talk that says that Israelis have not really completely secured the northern part of Gaza like they're claiming. But they've gone in, they're starting to destroy the underground tunnels, they're starting to bomb and demo these facilities, and they are extensive. And everybody's known they've been extensive. This is not a secret. Okay. It's just that we let it be until they get out of
billions, 500 miles or more of tunnels and infrastructure and stuff underneath this area. So yeah, it's kind of interesting how they're going over, taking them down and systematically leveling it to the dirt and then going in and attacking what's left.
Only 10,000.
A lot of bombs.
Only 10,000 civilians, 4,000 children had to be removed first before they could do this.
Yeah.
So much craziness. So much craziness, dude. And what do you think about the there have been reports. I don't know if you took a look at that Telegram video I dropped earlier, Ardoc, but there's like reports of people saying like, hey, a lot of Israelis actually killed Israelis through, they knew this house was basically had some Hamas in there holding people as hostages. So what did they do? They just shelled the whole house to kill everybody, essentially. So I don't know how true, it's like at the fog of war. So we don't know exactly what's true. And we hear a lot of disinformation on both sides going on, of course, right?
Well, do you think people are going to say, oh, well, they did all these bloodthirsty things against the Israelis? Well, yes, they did. And they need to be condemned. They need to go after these folks. But this has been a situation that was set up for us. It was set up. You have to understand.
We know that.
But there are people out there that may be watching this that come across this video that don't know that. Okay, this is it. This is a planned, staged operation to make hate.
I thought this was an interesting comment coming from Bibi. Here, listen to this one.
Hitler didn't want to exterminate the Jews at the time. He wanted to expel the Jews. And Haj Amin al-Husseini went to Hitler and said, if you expel them, they'll all come here. So what should I do with them? He asked. He said, burn them.
Never heard that comment come out of his mouth.
I'm gonna say
Truth to
something. I'm gonna say something. This is gonna blow you guys away for a second. It's gonna blow a lot of people in the audience away for a second, because if you know your Bible, and during Joshua's conquest of Canaan, and this is something that people point to because they this is just something that's pointed to by the Muslim community often, and that Christians we kind of overlook. We're like, oh, well, they were pagans. They needed to die. God commanded it. Okay. But during the conquest, our Judeo-Christian heritage, the only place in recorded religion anywhere in the three modern or the three top religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, where genocide actually occurred by one against the other. And that was Joshua's conquest. He was commanded by God to go and commit genocide and kill an entire people because of idolatry and didn't want mixing and so on and so forth. This has happened elsewhere in history, but this is the only religious text that actually includes and condoned genocide. Okay, what is Israel's and the Jewish people? They are God's chosen people. Therefore, they will inherit the earth. Okay. Well, if you go look at writings in the Saxon period when they went and conquered England, don't mix blood with their blood, kill all of the existing Britons, do not let their race. We are the God's chosen people. When you look at Hitler or you look at all these others, it's the same kind of language. And yet in our Judeo-Christian heritage, we have it too. Who's right? Who's God's chosen people? Aren't we all God's creation? Isn't that funny? Just thought I'd
all
blow your
God's
mind.
children.
Yeah.
That's interesting. What else do we want to go with? What else did I have in here to talk about? Edward Watson Cohen. Here it says, for those of us who follow the Hezbollah Iran threat network closely know that the attack scenario right here was right off their shelf planning when the Iranian president said readiness were crossed, and he was signaling that sort of third world country attack was into play because I guess we had attack down in Brazil is what was happening. What I had the little clipboard. Brazilian security authorities with the support of Hamas have reportedly managed to arrest two Hezbollah leaders of a plot to launch attacks against Jewish communities and synagogues across Brazil. So again, yeah, more countries, more stuff, kind of like what they did in the United States over here at the White House a couple of days ago, but more violent down there.
Why would something be done in Brazil? Of all of the South
we just had
American countries.
Lula just win the election that was down there. Seems to supposedly holding down the fort down there because he's kind of that leftist ideology, unless he's gotten out of his box.
Brazil has come out sort of softly against Israel. Okay, Colombia has come out against Israel. Bolivia has come out against Israel. Okay, the BRICS, Brazil. BRICS. This is designed to create. This whole thing is designed to create a problem for Putin, Russia, Iran. They're trying desperately to make this link. They're trying desperately to get this Islamic world to rise up and to be in chaos. Okay, and you have to understand and see where they're playing their little false flags. False flag in Dagestan, the stands. They want to get the stands in play. False flag in Brazil. You're going to see more of these. Okay. And then you also have at the same time, Ursula von der Leyen just today, and this is why she's going to be removed. She went out there and said, we have greenlit the ascension process and the review for Ukraine, Georgia, Moldova, and Bosnia-Herzegovina. So basically they're going to be moving forward with bringing them into the European Union while Germany is desperately destroyed economically. There's no way to support these countries coming in. They will need all the austerity measures promised under the EU. There's no way.
Good luck with that.
It's going to
What
destroy
Germany
the
just
EU.
announced they had their fourth bad quarter of industrialization in making shit in their country. Yeah.
Yes, it's
we had the Houthi back take down a Reaper drone. I kind of want to get over to Zelensky and his visit.
Before you jump off this, so the Ukrainians are desperately crying for MQ-9 Reapers. They're out there all over the place in the last 2 days screaming, "Give us Reapers, give us Reapers." Okay, just to let you guys know, what happened about 3 weeks ago is something that the U.S. has got really freaked about. One of our Global Hawk predators and was essentially jammed successfully by the Russians. And it's not happened once, it's happened 3 times. And it caused the software to go, there's an operator flying this thing from probably, it could be even somewhere in South Carolina, okay? But they're launched out of bases in Africa, and they fly and they refuel, and we fly them over the Black Sea region and so on and so forth for the Predator. And the Russian jamming software or technology was able to cause the drone to ignore the inputs it was receiving and jam and scramble them, and which forces it to go into an auto home reset mode, and the drone will fly to wherever it's programmed to fly automatically upon loss of signal, which in this case was, I think, a base in Romania. That's freaked out the U.S. and it led to the U.K. having to run reconnaissance missions with air escorts in over the Black Sea now for the last 3 weeks. They don't want our technology falling into the hands of the Russians and then going into Iran and then going to China. Okay, but the Houthis shot down MQ-9 Reapers. They didn't shoot them down; they forced them down. And this again goes back to the jamming technology. So the jamming technology has already been disseminated across the Iranians, which has gone to their Houthi rebel counterparts and to China. And so the U.S. is freaking out about what to do with our Reaper squadron and our Reaper squadrons and our Global Hawk squadrons right now.
Wow, that's a pretty big story. What else do we got over here we want to talk about? Oh yeah, the Ukrainian top general killed with some presidents that looked like grenades, and one of them was a grenade. Oops, I guess that was a bad housewarming gift, right?
So this is Zelensky's number 2. Okay, so Zelensky is the commander. So there it is. If you read it, scroll up to the top. Okay, so Gennady Chastyakov, assistant to the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Ukraine, Valery Zelensky, died in an explosion in his home, and his son was also injured. Also, Zelensky's son was injured. Zelensky was not injured. Okay, Zelensky, that's saying, according to, has once again publicly declared there will be no elections. It happened the same day, and also this is literally 2 days later. Zelensky gets out there and he's begging for credit. If you don't want to give us money, then give us credit. Okay. Then he also says, and if Donald Trump wants to come here, thinks he can manage this, and I invite him to come to Ukraine. Well, Donald Trump said, no, thanks, Z. Yeah, you're a good guy and all, but no, because he understands. Yeah, there you go. There, play this.
Play this. It's absolutely great, dude. I thought this was a meme when I first heard this.
If you can't give us some financial support, okay, please give us a credit, and we will give you back money.
Like layaway
at the end of the war. We'll give you back money at the end of the war.
Give you back your
like
money.
this.
Look at that stuff. Dude. That's nice. It's like DuckTales.
But what happened is that Zelensky has been pressured by the Biden administration because Biden there's two different factions. There's the Pentagon faction, and then there's the this is just fake. This is not real. The Biden administration.
This is Zelensky packing. He's leaving Ukraine.
No, it's not real.
But this is real. Did you hear about this? Oh, look, the daughter, Ukrainian, whatever, utility celebrating her birthday and her Mercedes SUV, throwing money around.
Yeah. Now,
this is in Ukraine.
This is the corruption. This is the way the corruption is, unfortunately.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So Zelensky has been getting pressured by the Biden administration to hold elections. Blinken went over and visited with him. There's been negotiations, soft negotiations being discussed with the Russians and other members of the EU. The Zelensky is angry he's not part of. Zelensky is being cut out. And the Banderites in his administration he knows that he's got to appease them. If he doesn't keep them happy, they'll be the ones that kill him. And I've talked to you guys about this for a long time. They'll remove him, they'll kill him. Okay. But what is happening is this pressure to hold elections and this talk to hold elections, you've him over there saying, "Yeah, we're gonna." Andrei Yermak is number 2, is chief of staff. They've arrested all of the political opposition. They've got court cases pending against Poroshenko and Arestovich, okay, who are political opponents. The only one they haven't touched is Yulia Tymoshenko. She is completely off limits. If he touches Yulia Tymoshenko, he'll be killed the next day. That's just how it is. But Zaluzhny, the general, his commander in chief, is very much somebody who's a political contender to him. And he is believed to be the guy that the Pentagon and the U.S. is going to put in charge of the country and make a peace negotiation with Russia. And draw, because Blinken wants there to be a not a ceasefire, what do they call it? A stalemate. That's why the press has been pushing this stalemate. It's not a stalemate. The Ukrainian counteroffensive has been over for months. Russia's on the offensive in all areas, and Ukraine has run out of men, and ammo is running out. The Germans just gave them 100,000 mortar rounds. That'll last about 30 days at the most, 120 millimeter mortars. It's bad news for Zelensky, but he's still pushing his men to go on the offensive in places like Kherson region across the Dnieper. Okay. So he's not listening to the U.S. He's fighting for his life, literally, against the powers that be in both the CIA and the State Department and the Biden White House. Okay. And so he declared in the most democratic way possible, no elections. Sorry. Yeah, you might want elections, but our constitution, this state of war and with Ukrainians all over the place, we cannot hold elections. Well, the Rada had already been working for months, that's the Congress, to look at how they could do these elections and have been working on this with his office of the president using the DIA system. It's a electronic system where Ukrainians, no matter where they are, could vote in this election. But he knows he's losing. He knows he would lose. And so they've canceled elections. And they have basically said that for the next 90 days through February, because martial law is in existence, you cannot hold elections. Now, here's what happens, interestingly.
Sounds like November coming up in 11 months.
Yep. Here's what's interesting, though. So his term officially ends March 31st. This is why that March 31st date may be important. If he agrees to use this martial law tactic again for another 90 days, and the Rada, after the end of that 90 days, suddenly says, oh, we're going to take a pause, a 1-day pause, even a 1-hour pause from renewing this martial law, he immediately ceases to become the president of Ukraine. It's immediate. Because there's no elections, it's past his term has expired, and he's no longer president. It happens like that. That is what has got him in now looking like a dictator, because the next time he tries to propose to the Rada, he has to be in a position where he can say to them, 1 year, we must be like 1 year or something like this, because he understands if once he's out of power, he's gone, he's dead, he's history. He understands this now. He's going to be martyred or worse. There's nowhere for him to go anymore.
There would
So
be
that's
no
that's
Well, he's
kind
got
of
all those billions in the houses and all that.
He's got his houses and his billions, and there's people like the major I talked to in the SBU that's now here in the U that left, that got the hell out. Major's very high rank in SBU Alpha group, very high rank, and he got the hell out with his family.
They sent Pete over there to hang out with Zelensky, and they also dropped his salary to $1 due to Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment over there. Just to point that stuff out over there. What else I want to throw you? Oh yeah, Alex Soros was over there.
Yep.
There, make sure we get there. There's important stuff over here. Because what was the other thing I had over here? Because Soros was there. He was meeting with your guys. I think I had one more piece over here. Oh, the ship that got destroyed. And then, of course, Zelensky calls Putin an effing terrorist. But I thought that was quite interesting. But
there was no ship.
Soros there was a story that had come out. Ukrainian president announced his country's military. Oh, okay. If it's disinformation, I get it. But let's start with this. These guys. What's he doing over there?
So we know that the George Soros announced that he was basically leaving Europe and closing down shop, but there's still unfinished business in Kiev. And so in the midst of this anti-corruption, remember, ANTAC is the anti-corruption group that's in Ukraine that worked with NABU to basically go after political enemies of anybody that was going to put at risk the DNC, Hillary Clinton, Ukrainian connection. Okay, that existed out there. All the oligarchs, anybody got out of control, ANTAC would go after them, find evidence, NABU would prosecute them, and they would back the hell off and go about their little corruption schemes and be good little corruption people. Okay, that's how this works. So young junior over here, Alex, is over there having meetings, policy level meetings, military level meetings about how funds and Ukrainian humanitarian aid, because everybody's worried the money's cut off. The big announcement in the last 2 days has been that the Office of USAID, Samantha Powers Group, has come out and said, sorry, appropriations are at 96% used up. There's no more money to send to Ukraine in any substantial amount to support any kind of humanitarian or administrative work. So that means Ukraine has about 1 month left of funds. If they dip into their gold reserves and their currency reserves, they've got maybe 3 months left. Okay. And so this is why you have the Foreign Affairs Committee now coming out with a proposal to send them some money. And this has been the big news that the Ukrainians have grabbed onto. But the problem is this is a bill in committee. It hasn't gone to the full floor. It hasn't gone back to the Senate, and it hasn't gone through the scrutiny of the bill to make sure that is this right. Ukraine will probably get money from the U.S. again. Make no doubt about it. There is a very large Ukrainian-backed lobbying effort being gone through by Bill Kristol. Bill Kristol and many others like Bill Kristol, these rhino uniparty types that are actively targeting Republicans in Congress because the Ukrainians view the Republicans as the enemy, as the party that's not supporting them. That's why they love Joe Biden so much. So Alex Soros being over there is kind of arranging to make sure that they can understand how the players that are getting their cuts need to still stay in line. Don't worry, we'll take care of the money situation. We got you covered. Don't worry about it. Don't give up on this administration, because they're starting to cut and run, and they're starting to turn on Zelensky. And there's been talk of a military Maidan against Zelensky. And Hulk, I think I sent you a tweet or a video maybe
about the
man.
The coup, I think, is what it was. This one,
No,
election snap of the Portugal thing.
no, it was the Ukrainian soldier that was. You probably didn't grab it because it was just a loose video. There's a video out there that I think I posted part of it on my Twitter that of a Ukrainian soldier from the 93rd Mechanized Brigade who is talking to women back in his home village or his home community, and they're talking about the sorry, I'm watching your screen as you're scrolling. They're talking about the fact that how the soldiers are being treated and how that their money is not going to them, how the commanders are committing corruption and all kinds of stuff. Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about finding it. It's not that important. We don't have time to play that video anyway. The fact of the matter is that the news is leaking out from soldiers. Too many are dead. There's over 1 million wounded soldiers, over 1 million wounded soldiers that are back at home talking, and they're desperately trying to spin the PR because they're very concerned about a military Maidan. And this is why they aren't buying for a second that this was Russians trying to make a hit on Zelensky's number 2 or Zelensky. This was a hit on one of Zelensky's key guys, and they're already pushing into the Rada. Zelensky's guys at the office of the president, Yermak, is pushing into the Rada ways to take Zelensky's power away from him and remove him. And Arestovich, his best buddy forever, has come out and said, you understand, this is Zelensky doing this. This is bad news. What are you doing? Stop. And Zelensky is just insane right now. He's just absolutely dictatorially insane.
And then I picked up this one because this comes out to more disinformation. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, this is the NGEU of Ukraine. They post crap every day. I respond to it, and they showing a cruise missile there under an Su-24 or an Su-27. I can't tell. It looks like a 24, and they're like, "We did it again. We attacked the shipbuilding plant." No, they didn't hit Kerch. 18 missiles were launched. They didn't hit a single target. They were all shot down. The Russians have basically got an answer now to the HIMARS. If they have the right technology, HIMARS don't get through. The ATACMS, they can shoot down the ATACMS now, and the Storm Shadows, they can hit the Storm Shadows. So this is an old footage. It's fake footage.
That's so freaking funny, dude.
See, it says Kerch shipyard in Crimea. None of the missiles in Kerch got through. The missile fell amongst an industrial building and did cause some damage, but none of the missiles hit their targets. None of them hit their targets. This is a downed missile falling into an industrial building or warehouse. This is not a true missile explosion.
So, okay, if you're going to be an evil guy and play the deep state games they're going, and we've seen them trying to step away from the Ukraine issue and try to get more of this stuff going off in Israel and light up the Mideast again, what would their next move be next week? Because I mean, it seems like it just escalates to the next level, and I don't know where the limit is going to be. But what would you point your magic finger at?
Zelensky has been given orders or Zelensky is giving orders because he needs to show the Americans, his Western financial backers, that he's making progress. So he's trying to send a major amount of troops into across the Dnieper River and Kherson, but that is now stalemated. That is now a stalemate. The Ukrainian folks are out there saying, yeah, we're doing this. The Russians are running away. No, it's pretty much a stalemate. They're now in their medium tier, shooting down each other's radar and counter battery missiles. Across the front line, it's the Russians are encroaching. Avdiivka is getting enclosed on. They're making headway, grinding ahead. Russians are using lots of tanks and lots of armor, but they've got lots of tanks and lots of armor, and they've got lots of men. It's the men in Ukraine that are losing. So they've now created a situation where women They used to have like 40,000 women they would take in the military. Now it's gone up to 90,000, and there are proposals in the RADA to even do more. And they're sending them to the front lines to be tank drivers, snipers, and machine gunners. So women are being sent to the front lines. Where do I see Zelensky could very, very real wants to hit Energodar again. He wants to take a Zaporozhye nuclear power plant and do something, because then tension will come back to him from Israel. He's been snubbed by Israel. Israel will not let him come visit so that he can get some of the limelight and beg for more money. And so he's pissed off about that. And so he wants to grab the media attention back, and he's ordered all his little minions in the social media networks and elsewhere to keep pumping stuff out there. But there's fighting because they aren't getting paid, and they're fighting amongst themselves as to which group of these little social media PR experts and whatever are getting their chunk of the cash. It's really funny. Israel is Bibi Netanyahu versus Biden, and there's going to be more and more pressure put on Israel, which is okay with the Biden administration because ultimately they want Netanyahu gone. Part of this plan is to remove Netanyahu and to make Israel even further ostracized and further weakened so that it can be even more of a dangerous flashpoint, because remember, Israel's a nuclear power too. Okay. And so I see them continuing to pressure Israel, continuing to foment destabilization. The chaos agents in our own government will continue to create problems on the Republican and the Democrat side, because our country in chaos means Biden and a totalitarian type regime can emerge, and they can, if they get the war aspect going, then they can clamp down the martial law and the social media, you can't talk, you can't say kind of rules on us. That's where I see this moving towards. But again, while they have these plans, the powers that be have given the ultimatum. And if they do not pull their crap back together, and Ursula and Biden and the upstarts keep trying to do what they're going to do, then you will see financial crisis emerge, and you will see it happen very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's not like we're already paying $1 trillion to service our debt now, but yeah, that's going to be totally awesome. But yeah, it's pretty great stuff. Go ahead, Space Shot. I didn't mean to step on you.
No, I was just saying good stuff, Arda. That's all. That's all, sir. But yeah, it's going to be
Exactly.
crazy. It's, and like I said in the beginning of the show, guys, let's remember that we are all on the same side here, and we need to try to work together. So you might have differing opinions, and some people's knowledge level might be that, above another. So don't get frustrated with each other. Try to help each other out. And I know it does get, tense and whatnot. But remember, as much as you might be arguing with somebody, oh, well, Israelis or the Palestinian side, it's like we're all on the same side, guys. Work together.
Well, the fact that it's being argued about shows you why it's there in the first place, because this is our core beliefs. This is our dogma. The word dogma, if you don't know who Solzhenitsyn is, learn, because he lived, he went through the Soviet labor camps. He was persecuted in the Soviet labor camps. And he knows what persecution is, and he wrote about dogma. He watched it emerge. Even the most devoutly religious, perfect people turned into absolute animals. The basic animal that would turn on their mother and sell their mother for a kopeck. That's a Ukrainian penny, basically. And that's what we are when we are not who we're supposed to be. We become animals. And so if the chat's arguing about any information, discussion is good. Contravening information, dropping the sauce is what we used to say back in the QNN and Patriot News days, right? You got to drop the sauce, right, Tron? Drop the sauce, drop the sauce.
It. Yep.
And so if you've got an opinion, if you've got a position, argue it, but drop the sauce to support it. And that's why I encourage people to go look at my Twitter. I try to drop some lengthy threads. And the guys here, we don't have enough time for me to do my normal 4-hour educational program. So this is summarized versions, right, guys? But there's sauce, and there's 6 years of sauce behind some of the stuff that I'm saying that's out there in video if you want to go find it. The issues that make us the most divided, you have to really take yourself dispassionately out of it. You got to really go question your own beliefs and really find the sauce for your own beliefs. And sometimes you'll get down to the very bare minimum where there is no sauce. And then it becomes a faith thing. Okay. But be careful of who you trust and what you believe. Even us, go research yourselves and dig the sauce. That's your
Especially
journey.
me. Especially me. No.
Well, I wanted to ask Tron for a second because Tron runs a very fine line of putting together the team drops, going back through the history, showing the old connections, and then you see a lot of the new, shiny new, I'm a decode whatever. Can you kind of give us your opinion of between the new hopium stuff that you see and the stuff that you guys are actually covering out there?
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that I've, throughout the years of doing, being the quote unquote decode guy, you see all these different kinds of decodes, different methods and whatnot. And there's no wrong way to decode, but there's always better ways. And that's why on Tuesday, I always go through all the old Q proofs that were actually confirmed by Q, meaning that Q puts out something and then boss minutes later confirms it via timestamp, deltas, that kind of idea. But then we have all this new kind of, this new age of decoding, which kind of goes a little bit too far. Like, I'm not a fan of the gematria or whatnot, but at the end of the day, if it gets you to reread drops and makes a connection, then that's a good thing, right? So there are a lot of, and also with the Twitter monetization, you have like, I don't want to say new names out there, but there's a lot of ways to get that quote unquote clickbait. So like Doc said, have discernment, have faith in yourself and your research. And at the end of the day, we're going to figure it out together. And most importantly, by yourself, because this is a personal journey, not only for, for us as patriots worldwide, but this is also holding the line as a collective, as, patriots just trying to save their country from this hell that we're in. But yeah, there's a lot of slides out there, guys, a lot of slides. I don't participate in all that kind of, back and forth and, quote unquote infighting. I have my eye on the prize, but use discernment and we'll be good.
Unity above anything else. And just to let you know, less than 4 minutes, 4 minutes and something.
Well, if you be quiet, Space Shot, did you want to say anything before I kick it back to Tron? He could tell us what he served for dinner.
Nope. Good for final thoughts. Update shaders. Let's rock.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wait,
That's
I'm
what I wanted to
sorry.
hear.
I'm sorry. It is open. It's open.
Okay, be quiet.
You want to see it?
Tron, what's for dinner?
Guys, tomorrow night, 9:15 Central, 10:15 Eastern, we have Biscuits and Gravy. That's the non-political fun show. And even though I say it's non-political, we always get into it, guys. It's about 3 hours. And again, this is Trontent, user submitted. Show us where you go on vacation. Show us your meals, your food, your pets, whatever you got, we'll take it. And there's a lot of cursing, guys. It's not for everyone. It's definitely not like a Tuesday or Thursday or like a Sunday. But it's a lot of fun and it's different. So hang out with us tomorrow night on the Business and Gravy Show. And if we don't see you then, guys, we'll see you Sunday morning for the Great Awakening Show. Me, Leonidas, and Grasshopper bringing the crumbs to the table, guys. The best that we possibly can. And this week was just truly amazing, guys. The show's already done. I don't even have to put much together because it kind of writes itself. A lot of good stuff, guys, and especially the boss down there in Florida. We had someone in the chat a couple of days ago that got to stand behind the boss at the rally during that amazing speech. So we'll go over all the highlights of the week and definitely check us out, guys. Sunday morning, Great Awakening Morning Show. Danny Scabs with his orange juice, extra pulp. Love each and every one of you. Thank you, mods in the chat, and thumbs up. We will see you tomorrow night, if not Sunday morning. Thank you, Hulk, Space Shot, and Doc for another great show. And much love, Patriots. Dig me and pray. Where we go one, we go all. Booms. Love you guys.
He won't let me
Thank
share.
you, Tron. I appreciate that. So quickly, back to our Doc. You get 45-second final thought.
Final thought is Divine Unity. That's the name of the book that I'm working on, or a series of books that I'm working on. You and divinity and what it means. And we have to remember, we are all connected. We are all one creation. by God. It's not, there's no us versus them. You might think that, you might hate people, you might feel that somebody is being evil and hurting you. Your choice, your way you live, the way you think, what you choose in this moment, this nanosecond, is what defines you. The other people don't. What they have done to you, what you've experienced, what you are experiencing, even death itself doesn't define you. It's your choice to love. It's your choice to be in unity or not. That's my final thought.
I could just hear freaking Leonidas in the back of my head saying, "Oh, Doc, we've been here before.
We've done this before. Look, listen.
Luke, listen.
I can hear it screaming in the
We
back
hung
of
out
my
with
head.
him last night. Last night we hung out with him for a couple hours. It was a lot of fun. He's a good guy.
Good to hear, dude. Tell him we said hi. We should have him on coming here in the future. But back to Space Shots. Space Shot, final thoughts. Let's go.
Yeah, gonna be again, guys, broken record, but I haven't said in a few weeks. It's of course things will keep ramping up next week, and I don't know what the next thing will be because they're pulling out all of the tricks. It's gonna be crazy. Got to give a big hat tip to the folks over there at Patriot News, Country and Wiley, helping us get this endeavor off the ground many moons ago, 5.5 years ago, approximately. And all of you wonderful patriots for hanging out with us on these Thursdays. So we really do appreciate that. Yeah, and just keep you guys' head on a swivel. Because the day of rage or whatever they're saying, oh, it could be 14 months or whatever. My guess is it will be a lot sooner than 14 months. You know, of course, that will be election time, and they're gonna have to do it well before election time. But if they're gonna do anything like that, it's gonna be probably in short order. So I think that's pretty much good for me for now, Mr. Hulkinator.
Yeah, we won't have to worry about them too much in the wintertime. When summer starts coming around and starts getting warm, I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of that. Riot seasons seem to pop up with a lot more protests and whatnot. So pay attention, guys. It's getting thick out there. We're going to continue the rest of the saga on Saturday. We got some funnies going on. It'd be me and Space Shot having some fun. We'll come in with, I think we've already picked our intro song. I'm not sure. Our doc did come up with a great choice out there. So a big giant hat tip to him over there on that side. With that being said, Space Shot always says,
we do appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in. And until that next video, thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Q? No. Peace.
Much love. Be good humans, guys. See you on Saturday.
It's so cool.
Let's go. You're now tuned in to the Patriot News. Patriots United, that's what Patriots do. Doing deep dives and discovering the truth. Follow along and you'll discover it too. Yeah. To doing research and covering too. We turn the deep state into bumbling fools. How they don't know what to do. We got them on the rug, rabbit popcorn. The world's best movie has begun. Let's go. We made it through the storm, now get ready for some fun. Now comes the pain for the traitors, every single one. From Evergreen to Renegade, they're all gonna fall. This ain't a game of Pokemon, but we're gonna catch them all. Taking that power from the clutch of the cabal. They won't answer questions while they're rushing down the hall. You got love for us, and we've got love for y'all. That's the meaning of where we go, where we go. Patriot News, get with the program. Shout out to the team and the whole fan. Country, Hulkinator, all Dr. D. Wiley, Space Shot, Red Pill, and Bree. Patriot News, get with the program. Shout out to the team and the whole fan. Country, Hulkinator, all Dr. D. Wiley, Space Shot, Red Pill, and Bree. Let's go. Let's get it. Yeah, you know what's going on at the table of Titan. Yeah, you know they're going strong. Yeah. We're taking back control. The cabal got it wrong. We got it where we fit in, right where we belong. The movement is exclusive, so come join along. Red Pilling with this music while you enjoy the song. Yeah. It's easy to lose and we've been waiting for so long. Knowing all we know about common ping pong. Wake the normies up, sleeping with pajamas on. Yeah. It's time to wake up to the Q phenomenon. Feel the energy, just like the beat I'm rhyming on. The Great Awakening, it's time to turn the sirens on. Where we go on with no one left behind. The community we formed here is one of a kind. The deep state is scared and they're running out of time. Cause the Patriot News gotta run it from the crimes. Patriot News, get with the program. Shout out to the team and the whole fan. Country, Hulkinator, all Dr. D. Wiley, Space Shot, Red Pill, and Bree. Patriot News, get with the program. Shout out to the team and the whole fan. Country, Hulkinator, all Dr. D. Wiley, Space Shot, Red Pill, and Bree.
got back. It's I'm outside making coffee right now, guys. So give me just 30 seconds. 30 seconds. It's boiling. Let me grab it, and I'll be right back with you. 30 seconds. Come on. All right, everybody, come in. Go ahead. Come on. Come on. I'm not a flipping doorman. Let's go. Everybody in. If you're coming in, let's go. Ready? Come on, Jazz. Come on, Liberty. Come on, buddy. All right, that's everybody. Okay. Oh, nope. Come on. There's Trouble. Come on. Come on, Trouble. Gizmo can go in the other way. Oh, boy. Yeah, I actually named the puppy Trouble, because he's the only one that doesn't get into trouble. So I'm just waiting for it to happen. Hey, guys, I think we have a guest. I think we have a guest. Hey, buddy. You going to let Dad squeeze in here? Thank you very much. Trying to get underneath my desk, but I'm literally surrounded by shepherds right now. So let's see. Oh, nope, he's not with us yet. Let me send him a message. Let him know I'm back. He might be tuned in. I'm not sure.
We're currently investigating an issue to that.
Nobody asked you to go. I don't know where you came from, Mister. Can I check Rumble? Okay. Let's see. No, you have to come in. Okay. Let's see here. I'm looking to see. Yep. Nope, that's right. Okay. I think I can add. Cannot add. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have a guest here for you guys in just a couple of minutes. So we're going to sit here and chit chat for a couple of minutes. I don't know who this guy is. I put it. Let's see. Can I get to destinations from in here? Add a new destination. Okay. Oh. No. Looks like I got to do it from in here. How do you add? Yeah, I have to do it from in here. Yeah, have to enter it in here. Enter. Inside this video. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we're trying to get Rumble added to this stream here as well. We're working on that right now, which is cool because we're trying out a new platform. It is called Q Streaming. We are podcasting to that. Whoop, hang on 1 second, guys. Hey, Dave.
So I added it on the destinations outside, but now that we're in, what do we do?
Okay, so once you're inside, you'll see that there's an edit button up at the top. You go to that edit button, put in the exact same information that you did into destinations, and boom, it'll be added.
It's not showing up. Where do I?
You can put it into the private chat. Put it into the private chat. I can do it from. I can enter it in. See, it shows you're half in, half out in the studio.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah.
Let me try and come back in.
Okay.
And if not, I'll just send it to you. Those links. Oh, I can send you those links.
Well, just put them into the private chat as soon as you as soon as you come back into the studio. You'll see the bottom on the right hand side is a private chat, and just put it right into that.
Oh, I see. And I hope I still have them.
Oh, we got the ding. We got the ding. They need to, oh, okay. So what it's saying is you need to add your mic/camera before I can add you to the stream.
Oh,
Dave said his hair's a mess. He doesn't want to come on like this.
yeah. Yeah. But they know that's not true.
Hey, there was a time when I had no hair, so it wasn't so bad because bald is beautiful.
Yeah, where do I do that?
Okay, so once you come into the studio,
Enter studio.
yeah, enter studio.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I need to do settings, audio, and I have to call you from another. It doesn't give me any access to that stuff.
Yeah, just put it into the private chat, and I'll put it in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I need to put it into.
Oh, see, now you just entered the studio. So now is where you look up at the top and you see the platforms that we're streaming to. Do you? Okay. Yeah.
It's not giving me the option, so I'm going to put it in private chat.
Okay.
This is that's the stream key I just dropped in, and I've got to find
The RTMP.
Yeah, which I've already loaded. And I don't see it. Where the heck is it? Oh boy. It's easy.
Bear with us, guys.
Okay, I've got it. Okay, that's coming to you. And okay.
I think I'm back. Am I back? I think I'm back.
Yep.
I'm back. Okay. I don't know what the heck I did there. Okay. Add destination. Customer MTP. Paste. Okay. Now I'm going to take that off. And this. And cut. And the R has to stay there. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Paste. And nickname for the channel, the Indoctrination. Or Truthcast Media. Truthcast Media.
That channel's going to be Rumble. Because the Truthcast Media, well.
Yeah, it would be Rumble. So, yeah. Need to stream to more than three destinations. Consider upgrading your plan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the option is stop broadcasting to Q streaming, because this has been a good test.
And go to Rumble.
Yeah, so let's do that. Okay, go to Truthcast and save changes. And okay, check your Rumble. We should be live. Thanks for bearing with us, folks. It's adding more platforms and more ways to get the truth out to people. And as you know, if emergencies ever come, we'll be able to use Rumble as a as a means to continue to get the messages out to you. Says we are having trouble streaming to your destination. If possible, the stream is ended or deleted on the destination. Okay, so we're gonna redo that. Here we go. Yeah. Well, we're going back to it. Yeah, that was weird. Never seen that.
It's taking us too long to get it going. It's still playing my loop of a minute video.
Yeah.
Which is the missile that destroyed Beirut.
Yeah. Let's see. It says it's still it came up and said again, we're having trouble streaming to your destination. It's possible the stream was ended or deleted on the destination. This can also occur if the RTMP server URL or stream key is incorrect. We'll keep trying and let you know if it's resolved. So I'm going to, it's all right. Okay. And do it again. That's strange. That's okay. That's all right. People get to see how truly technically challenged we really are.
Yeah, right. I wonder if it was my old stream key.
Yeah, well, it's up. Oh, nope, there it goes. So it was up. It was up for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then it goes down. I'm not sure.
Let me waiting for stream. It says, let me. Did I send you? Let me. I'm gonna do the. Here's the stream key again. It's the same thing. I'm sorry. The URL, server URL. That's the first one that I just resent to you, and
Yep, that information was correct. Unless I'm not supposed to put in the RTMP semicolon /
Yeah, I wonder. Well, I think the whole thing goes in. You want to go
see. I'm having fun. I really am. The paste. Okay, we'll take that out. Delete that. And delete that. And then take and do that. Copy or cut. Paste. Yep, it says must begin. Yeah, so it tells you that you have to have that RTMP thing there at the beginning. So, see, Ronnie's the one who does this on there normally.
Send them over to your
Okay, we can do that. Okay. Okay. All right. So, yeah. So Dave's going to be joining us in a few minutes, and that will be a nice little refreshing break. Have a great conversation. In the meantime, why don't I pull up the Truth Social, my Truth Social. I might have to do like a special feed into that or something, or intro to, kind of like Craig does with his mostly true news or whatever that he does, which is actually kind of funny. Let's see. So I had a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys, and let's see.
Breaking right now, the FBI reportedly seizing electronic devices from New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The New York Times reporting that the devices include phones and an iPad, part of the investigation into the top fundraiser for his campaign. You may remember we brought you this story, I think last week or so, when the FBI was searching her home and Adams canceled meetings. He had just gone to DC. He got right back on the plane and came back to New York City. He has not commented on this situation so far, so we wait to hear an update from Mayor Eric Adams on that.
Yeah, so it looks like they're going after him pretty hard, but we also know that it's a reflection of the fact that that he's criticizing DC because of the fact that they're not doing anything about them people coming over the border. So this is going to be kind of interesting. And if this Jean Pierre ends up getting the same shtick that Mayorkas got, the reduction in salary to $1. Well, maybe that'll cover the raise that they just gave themselves there in Congress, and in the Senate. So, it's nuts. It's nuts. Let's see. Let's go up to the top because I know that there'll be some new news there. Actually, let me go there real quick and get rid of that little number popping up over there. Cash Patel, the best. Thank you. Home of the free, because of the brave. Happy Veterans Day. And the thing is most veterans will tell you there's not really too much to be happy about. Okay, yeah, maybe we made it home alive, but the fact of the matter is just so many didn't. So many didn't. And that reflects on us. So Disclosed TV put in just in state of emergency declared in Grindavik, Iceland. Civil defense has decided to evacuate the town. A volcanic eruption seems imminent. Wow. Would you look at that? Wow. That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see what else. Let's see. In no way do I advocate violence. I have no wish for a civil war. I never wish harm on my fellow Americans, but I have the right to point out injustice, and I feel no need to be kind about it. Amen. That was Cranky American on True Social there who said that. And let's see, Momo says, I do not have to pick a side in a 3,500-year-old war in the Middle East. Neither do you. I'm picking America. I will always choose America. Now close the freaking border. We are full. Nice one. Nice one, Momo. Very good. I choose America. Y'all argue amongst yourselves. Oh, let's see. I wanted to see what Carly Boone had to do today because we know that she is the posting queen of the world. It's we as Americans always salute our flag, buy American, say Merry Christmas, say one nation under God, respect our law enforcement.
You raise me up so I can stand on my.
Just turning off the volume on that. You wanted to give him a hug. And that old World War II veteran says, I want to get up and give you a salute. Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't get any better than that.
Hey, Hawk, can you hear me
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. How
You can
doing,
you
buddy?
can change your audio avatar there to your face.
Oh, is that
If you
right?
want.
Oh, I got you, don't I?
Yeah, you got me. You got two of me, guys. You got
Yeah.
two of me.
Let's
We're
see.
twins. I'm
that
short
in the-
and tall.
Is that in the settings?
Down at if you look down below where it says your name in the little box off stage there, and you'll see the three dots, click that and choose your, it'll say edit audio avatar.
I only see down by my, hold on. No, it's not giving me the, would that be in settings?
Yep. No, it's it should be okay. So I'm
on my phone. Remember?
Oh, you're on your phone. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let me go.
I'm
out
not
and
sure.
come back in.
I've never used StreamYard from a phone before.
Hold on.